He ran down the hallway to do a poo, and now he can't talk.
You go into a house and there's a family and they're going to like eat you and fuck you at the same time.
Yeah. What's that? And I go, that's a Baidu. And he goes, no, that's a beaver. No, it's a Baidu. We're trolling you because the lists are back, motherfucker.
Here's for what you did.
I'm so sorry. You bought a timeshare.
This is a thing that could happen in the real world somehow, kind of, almost, maybe.
But give me a fucking assorted cream. I can't handle this.
Go.
Kingston. No, not why you do this.
Oh, that was fucking incredible.
I was in.
Hey, Nick, and welcome to Back Pocket for Thursday, the 13th of May, live from the Loki studios. Tonight on the show, we steal from the rich to give to the poor, explore the bottom of the ocean floor, and all head back to the party once more. But a Nick alone doesn't make four, so I'm joined by...
Oh my God.
Lovely. I don't want to even top that. G'day, everyone. How you doing? Gus here, back from the outback. All right. Next to me.
Gus did a lot of coke in the outback.
Is Stephanie, and I am looking forward to a fun weekend of rearranging our house, which is going to be super boring.
Pete, she's moving.
And Peter, who, to fill you in, is going to be putting pots and pans and stuff from the kitchen in boxes because the kitchen's getting redone.
Yeah.
That makes much more sense.
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody, to Back Pocket. I have a confession to make.
Please do.
I'm glad that you all enjoyed my rhyme at the beginning. I wrote it a couple of days ago. When I thought
We were going to play.
that Peter would play Hood, Outlaws, and whatever. And that's right. The first line is we steal from the rich to give to the poor.
Yeah,
And it doesn't apply to
right.
anything that's on the
And
show
you never
now.
went back and retroactively found a new word that has, rhymes with that and replaced it. You just stuck with going with that.
I may have read it for the first time since Tuesday.
Very cool.
Just then.
I saw you going, looking at your laptop, like just before we went
Yeah.
live. So I was like, that's, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that like
No, no.
Steph in the car kind of level
Yeah.
of...
Yeah.
Hack the boxes.
It's not just the four of us here, though, because there's a fifth wheel, as always. He's on the ones and twos.
This wheel is called Wheel.
Yeah.
Little wheelie.
It works.
Little wheel.
How are you, buddy?
I'm good. I feel really fresh. And I just, every time, I love this camera because it's just so nice.
It's so
I feel like
lovely.
my face doesn't look like
Yeah.
this usually, but it's like, it just fixes everything.
You're nicely
You look
lit.
beautiful.
You're nicely lit.
For those, and I will put this in the Discord, for those who don't know, the camera that Will has on him is the most expensive camera in the building. It's like, Pete,
Tell us
What?
about the camera.
how expensive is that with lens and tripod? What are we looking at? 20?
Yeah, 20 grand.
20 grand worth of camera pointed at Will for him to change into a variety of hats.
He's got to get a hat.
He's scrambling.
Go on,
Scrambling.
get something.
Oh,
You
God.
better. It doesn't even need to be hatted. Just anything. Just
the
come
dog
back
on
with
your
anything.
head.
It's fine.
Put the dog on your head.
Hey!
Oh, he's got a dog on the hat. He has.
It's Samuel L. Jackson.
From Britain, it is.
That's Lawrence Fishburne.
No, put it backwards. Put it backwards. Do the, yeah.
There you go. There you go. Hey, all right.
Now I'm getting
Alright.
Samuel L. Jackson.
That's what we said.
That's what I just said.
Really?
God damn it, Steph. 2 minutes. You're not listening to me after 2 fucking minutes?
Sorry.
I'm happy
Very
I've got
nice.
the intro for next week already.
Unbelievable. Now I'm getting Samuel L. Jackson.
I have selective hearing.
In the show feedback channel on the Discord, you'll see a picture of the camera for those of you interested in pictures of cameras. There you go.
That's my camera. I bought it in 2017 secondhand.
Yep.
And it's still working hard to this day.
There you go.
Workhorse. FS7, if you're interested.
Pots and pans.
Sony FS7.
Gotta pack the boxes. Welcome, everybody. We hope you've had a great week. I've had a great week, too. I'm in a good mood.
Good.
And
Let's ruin it.
Yeah. And the half hour of like work chat before this didn't even kill it. But the reason that I'm in a good mood is on the drive here, which, it takes about an hour.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, when at the end of the year, when my Spotify is like, here's what you listened to in 2021, it's just going to be Taylor Swift.
I thought you were going.
I was bopping so hard on the way here, and at one point during one song on her 2016 album 1984, halfway through the song, I'm driving, going like 90, and I literally shriek out, "Fuck yes, Tay Tay!" So that's how much I love Taylor Swift.
I have no real opinion about Taylor Swift either way, but I find her fans particularly annoying. I don't know why.
Right.
Hi.
You're looking at
It's irrational. Like I don't have any problem with her music. I've listened to a few of her songs and been like, that's a bop. I like it. Mm-hmm. But like, I don't know what it is. People that are really into Taylor Swift and like vocally talk about Taylor Swift a lot, I don't understand it because I'm like, I don't get what's to love.
So I know. So I was exactly the same as you. And then I listened to her most recent albums and I loved them. And then I've just worked my way back.
Yeah.
But I was always the same as you. I was like, I don't like Taylor Swift. I don't like what she's doing with Katy Perry. Yeah. I don't like people who say the words Tay-Tay. And now
you shriek.
And now, let me tell you, I love the fact she stood up to Katy Perry. I love saying Tay-Tay. Okay. Are we talking about video games? Should we move on?
Sure.
Let's talk about video games in a segment that we like to call... I'm just saying what you'll be playing. Brought to you by Brent Jones, aka LokiCat.
Fuck yeah, LokiCat. From the car on the driveway.
Hell yeah, Lele. Is that what we should start calling
We're
him?
going to
Yes.
call him Lele. I love it.
That actually works.
Lele.
Lele's like a fun thing to say.
It is.
I bet LokiCat's like, no, it doesn't.
Well, LokiCat. No.
Yeah.
I know LokiCat.
Yeah.
I'm here for you, LokiCat.
Leke.
I get it.
Leke. Nicrotex has it. Hey, Leke. Thanks,
Worse.
Leke.
Hey, Leke.
Thank you very much, LokiCat, for sponsoring this segment. Peter?
Yeah, I don't think there's a huge crossover between diehard Smashing Pumpkins fans and diehard Tay-Tay fans. I'm not saying you can't like both,
Oh, yeah.
but I don't think you can be a diehard fan of
I was going to say, I'm not a die-hard Smashing Pumpkins fan, but I do really like the Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm a Swift.
You're a Swiftie Leke man yourself.
Okay, this is where we talk about the games that we've been playing this week, which, I mean, at first I thought would be nothing because you've been away for a week.
I have.
I've just been very busy.
Yeah. You've been very busy. And I've been very busy.
I've been playing things that I can't talk about as well.
Yeah, same.
And seeing things
Sucks.
I can't talk about.
Yeah, right.
That being said, if you watch the post show, you might actually be able to hear about one of those things, but we can't talk about right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
We can mention that the thing that we can't
No, don't
talk
even
about.
say that.
Can we?
I'd say,
Yeah.
I'd say dangle the
Because it's
mystery
not an
carrot.
What are
opinion.
you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess they didn't say that.
Yeah. We've had access to Mass Effect
Legendary. Yeah.
and we'll talk about it in the post show.
We can't talk about
right
it
now.
for a couple of hours.
Oh, I thought it was a different
10 p.m. the embargo lifts.
Yeah.
right.
So we'll talk about it in a couple of hours in the post show. But, like, not much. We'll talk about it more next week because we probably will play more next week.
Yeah,
But you
totally.
want to hear about the Mass Effect Legendary Edition menus? You fucking stick around for the post show. How was your trip?
It was good. I took a week off and I drove to Alice Springs with my dad. He's doing a bigger road trip and I thought I'd help him out. So yeah, I spent 5 days driving through pretty amazingly empty areas, but it was great. I had a really lovely time. I love the Outback and it was a cool thing to do. Although it did leave me with very little phone reception, very little access to video games, all that kind of stuff. So I thought I would just grab a mobile game and let that keep me company for the times that my father and I chose not to speak to each other.
Was that often?
It wasn't that we chose not, like we had a great time, we got a great relationship, but you can only say so much when you do 5 hours of driving for 5
And you can say a lot more than only so much.
That's true.
Does your father suffer the same affliction of like not being able to stand any moment of silence?
Yeah.
There's a little bit of that, but then we fill those moments of silence with the same observation, just worded differently, and those observations aren't very interesting, and they go on, and they go
That
on.
was it. Because when you arrived here, you were like, you know what, this is the most I've said in like the last 5 days or whatever, and it feels weird. And I was like, isn't this the normal for you? Like lots and lots of talking?
Look, yeah.
do you and your dad have that thing like the guy who put out the video of like what all comedian podcasts are like, where they're just asking the same question and talking about the same thing? Like that's what I imagine you guys both go like, wow, look at that rock. Just exactly the same time, doing exactly the same thing.
The silence comes from the superposition of your voice is hitting like the crest is hitting the trough of the other wave, and they cancel each other out.
It's like noise cancelling headphones, basically.
But there was literally nothing for miles, so one thing would happen and we'd both be like, literally, that's a weird rock, that's a weird rock.
But did you have periods of comfortable silence?
Oh, heaps.
Okay.
Did you have periods of uncomfortable silence?
No, none. I introduced him to a heap of podcasts, and then we listened to those, and yeah, like it was great.
What'd you listen to?
a rap song?
No Such Thing as a Fish.
Oh,
fact-based one for the
Nice.
QI devs, QI people. He loved it. It was a great thing to listen to. And yeah, I actually never got the game out to play while we were driving, or like it's just I played it every night. The game I chose kind of then reflected a lot of what was happening because some stuff went wrong on the trip, both like mechanically and destination-wise. It was an unpredicted trip that took some turns and all that kind of stuff. And the most famous video game trip of all time is, of course,
The Eurotrip tie-in video game.
Eurotrip tie-in video game released in 2001 with real voices from the show. Stephanie is very lost. Peter is the game I was referencing is the Oregon Trail.
Oh my God. I was like, is that a thing? Did that actually come out?
But if Pete starts
Because I believe everything that Peter says always because he's my husband and I trust him.
Yep. Like you're getting the
fool.
kitchen renovated.
he just tells lies.
No.
love
The
lying.
Oregon Trail famously is that game that everyone... I actually never played it. People played it on the first school computers they had back in the day.
We in Australia had a thing that was similar called Gold
Gold
Rush.
Rush.
Yeah, right. Okay, because I
Which
do think...
built on the same concept, but
Yeah,
not as popular.
and it was
as
like
Oregon Trail.
you'd set up camp for the night and like someone would rob you and you'd wake up with nothing.
Yeah.
Well, I think more American famous schools, I would say, because obviously it takes place traveling from it's the East Coast to the Midwest, and it was like an educational game, so kids grew up playing it and finding all the fun bits in it while it was teaching you things about history and all that kind of stuff. It's just been, not just, but it was recently released on the Apple Arcade, and so that's why I played it. And it's this full remake of the game. Well, I say remake. I never played the original, so I don't know how true to it is. No, I think a lot of us didn't, but I've seen
Again,
it.
it's like this. Yeah, it's one of the most well-known games in the world,
Yeah.
but it was literally only just played by every American.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah.
really
It was
big
at school
outside of
between
America.
1990 and 1998 or something like
Yeah.
that. So yeah, it's something that I've heard about. I've seen like parody. I've seen it
Yeah.
referenced in shows. So I was like, I actually want to try it and see what it's like. And this is a really good way to experience it because they have. I feel like they've pushed the gamey elements of the RPG party management stuff in front of all the edutainment stuff that I'm sure was in the original that I never
Yeah.
played. And it's actually really, really cool. The thing I would say it's the closest to is something like Darkest Dungeon. It's a cool party management system where you set off, your goal is to get all the way to Oregon, but there are heaps of little stops along the way that you're getting to forts, and these forts serve as checkpoints, and everything goes wrong. Again, Darkest Dungeon style, shit just keeps going wrong at every turn. It's all about managing the health, hygiene, and morale of your party, and making little RPG decisions. As everything, as I said, does go wrong, you get to those forts, they serve as like save points, so you can start your journey from those forts later on to go further and further. It's been adapted really well. The art style is really lovely. It's obviously pixely. It has some throwback like sound effects and button textures and transitions from the old like green and black graphics that you
Yeah,
see
cool.
flicker around from time to time. And yeah, the micromanagement is crazy in this Obnoxious Bishop. Yeah, it's insane, but it's cool to get your head around in the sense that you start to... It's like any of these games. You start to come up with your own little story of the cast of characters you have, and you start to
Yeah.
love some characters and hate other ones, and things befall the ones you love that you try to keep alive, and things happen to the ones you hate that you wish happened to the people you love. And so I had Julius, this banker who just had low morale and just kept fucking around with the party. He kept swearing at people and setting the morale down.
Kick him out.
He eventually just went, screw this, I'm leaving. And he left. And I was
Oh.
like, thank God. Because
Problem
then our
solved.
rations all worked out, so we had more for everyone. There's the management system you see there on the wagon where bits of the wagon break, and so your management slots become smaller. I really enjoyed it. I kept like looking forward to like an hour at night each night to sort of make a bit of progress each time.
Did you write a little rap song about these people?
I did not this time. I did not have time in all my silence with my father. But no, I pushed on. I made quite a bit of progress with it, but I had a couple of deaths. I eventually just had 2 women who actually really were like, they were the strongest ones, and the 2 guys died. Eventually, the one guy died, the other guy left. He came back at a fort and said like, hey, I'm really sorry I left.
Oh,
and
the one who left, not the one who died. I was like, holy shit.
He's like, I'm so sorry I left. Will you have me back? And we were like, fuck off, not a chance. And I thought you could put more people in your party. You can't. So we were just left with the 2 women, and things got worse and worse from there on in. But
How are the dysentery animations?
they're really funny.
Yeah,
they're really funny. They just stop and go like, and throw up everywhere. Sometimes we just left a fort. I'd packed all the supplies we needed. I knew where we were going. I knew I had enough bullets for the hunting mini game. I was like, this is going to be great. And the woman, I can't remember her name, but she was my favorite, and she had the best hunting skills. We barely got out of town, and she shot herself in the chest with a gun that went off by mistake. And I was like, oh my God. So then I had to nurse her gun wound the whole way through like resting. Crossing rivers is a huge part of it.
Is that just like a bad roll, or like is she
Yes,
just
there's a
really
heap-
bad with a gun?
There's heaps of bad rolls, essentially. It's just
Yeah,
like,
okay.
There's nothing really good ever happens. It's always about managing all the bad. Again, why I draw a comparison to something like Darkest Dungeon. But that makes it really hard. And that was why I really got a kick out of this. It wasn't a cakewalk. It was like, it's you are going to fail. How far can you get without failing? But there, as I said, there seems to be these checkpoints that make it so you can come back, start a new party, and actually get progress to the end of the game.
right.
And the other 2 things I'll mention really quickly is they've also made these like little standalone journeys that you can do, which are like a pre-designed party going through a certain area of the game that isn't going to Oregon, that's going somewhere else.
Was this in the original?
No, because they reference at the start of it, they're like, hey, the original, probably a bit racist, probably a bit, some bad attitudes towards Native Americans and all that kind of stuff. So they mention that at the beginning, and then they also have these stories where you can take part as like a Native American who's going on like a walk with their relatives to like become a man or set up a new outpost somewhere, and there's no caravan, there's just you and some family members, and there's the dysentery for you, Pete. So they've got these little standalone kind of like, if you haven't got time to push through the main campaign, you can go and have these little like 5-minute quests, and they are a little more, I think, sort of politically correct. Not politically correct, just more open-minded about the characters and the stories and things that would have happened back then. But yeah, heaps of dysentery as well. A lot of cholera, a lot of snake bites, a lot of broken legs. And again, we broke the car on the trip I went on with my dad. We had to like stop the car and rip a part out of it and put it back together. So I was like, I'm having weird these like moments at night where I'm experiencing
Parallels.
Parallels between the game and what was happening in real life. So it was great.
Yeah, good.
And
Which one of you shot themselves in the chest?
we both did that morning. It was a classic old. I have a really classic story about father-son bonding going wrong, but I'll save that for the post show.
Good.
Good.
But yeah, it's free on Apple Arcade. It's actually really polished, and I'd say give it a go if you've always been curious about what the hell everyone's talking about when they mention the Oregon Trail, because it's heaps of fun.
This has inspired me to try and look up Gold Rush and see if I can find that. I've seen people
Point out Gold Fields is what it's called.
Gold Fields,
Yep.
yes. Because I remember it looks like Oregon Trail looks like it was maybe released a bit later than Goldfields, because Goldfields was pretty lo-fi.
Oregon Trail is like
Oregon Trail's before Goldfields for sure.
Really?
Yeah. Goldfields would have been based on Oregon Trail.
I would have thought so, yeah.
The art is beautiful. Nicrotex just pointed out that if you search Oregon Trail, the first result that comes up is not the game.
Did you get
So
it?
go to the second one.
Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah, of course.
He caught it.
These are my Outback skills. Ready?
Eat it.
Hey, now if you really were the Bush Tucker man, you'd eat it. Oh, fuck you.
I would have done it on
Wasted protein.
I've seen people streaming Encarta Mind Maze as well.
Oh, wow.
Which I really want to play again.
I love that.
I know it's just trivia, but it's just like the
Yeah.
music and the nostalgia and everything. Like, I wasn't allowed to play video games, so that was like, I would just play that over and over, being like, this is the closest I'm going to get, man.
I would say this feels like they've pushed a lot of the the edutainment out of it to make it a more entertaining game. So if that's something that makes people go like, I'd never play that, it does feel like they've made it a lot more
good.
playable.
Thanks, Stig's fellow cousin, for the subscription. 8 months. I see you. Peter,
Yes?
you've been seeing this week.
Who have I been seeing? Is that what you said?
I said, what have you been seeing?
Oh, right.
Wow.
Video games?
Okay. I needed a segue.
It was a bad one.
What have you been seeing?
Seeing.
What do you mean a video game?
Yeah, but
You
don't
introduced the video game that
you
you've
don't
been
see
playing.
a video
know what you
game.
need?
Of course you do.
You two need a long drive across the country together.
I'll shoot you in the chest.
Peter Burns.
yes.
What video game have you been
Interacting with
What you been playing? Brought to you by Brent Jones, aka LokiCat.
Lake. I have played a bunch of stuff. I played heaps of Dota. One new thing that I checked out a little bit is a game called Scavengers, which I think, Gus, you might, despite appearances, you might find a little bit interesting in the Battle Royale space.
Cool.
It entered like an open beta at the start of this month.
This was one they were doing the key drop for, where you watch like half an hour on Twitch, I think, and you got a key.
Right, okay. For the closed beta before May 2nd. Yeah, okay. Because the opinions on it are pretty mixed at the moment, and from my experience with the few rounds that I played, it feels like it has a long way to go. But the thing is pitched as like a PvE VP. So player versus everything versus player. The PvP aspect of it is like kind of focused towards the end, not the start of the thing. The map stays big, but there is a snowstorm kind of encroaching in on the map. But the point of this game is to basically like plunder, collect resources, evacuate the resources, and have the most resources at the end of the round. You have a question, Nicholas.
One might say.
Excavate the resources.
You can excavate the resources, yeah.
You said evacuate. I was like, do you poop them out? Somebody else mixed that up. Was it you?
Yeah.
Me, it's a callback, Steph.
Yeah.
It's a callback.
Please pay attention to the words that come out of my mouth.
Sorry. I don't get jokes.
So far, I'm selective.
I trust everything. I'm selective hearing. I trust everything that everyone ever says to me, and I don't get jokes. I am Stephanie Bed Dixon, and I just like spending time with my friends.
The shooting feels like pretty basic. It's a third person, pretty like loose feeling, not super impactful.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of like AI controlled camps that you have to take. So basically everything you'll see me fight in my footage here is AI.
Right.
And
Are you in a group?
I'm working with 2 other people. It's 5 teams of 3. You go in and you basically like get resources from killing enemies on the map, and then there are big like nodes of resource to mine in the little bases. So you go and clear out the boss of the base, and then you clear that stuff, and then the map gets smaller.
But so are you playing against other players as well?
There are other players doing the exact same thing in other parts of the map,
And you can shoot them?
You can encounter them, and it's quite rare because the map is really big. There's only 60 players on it, and it's very much about like the final phase is.
But
where
that
you would encounter
snowstorm
people.
is funneling them all to the same area?
The snowstorm funnels people to the same area.
Yeah, okay.
But not in like a PUBG
really
kind of way
interesting.
where you end up with an area that you'll basically not be able to move around in.
Yeah, it's similar. I'd say draws heaps of similarities between Hunt Showdown, which I really enjoy too, which is a co-op one where, it's PvE in the sense that there's all the monsters on the map. There are other duos running around that can kill you. And then there's always a climactic kind of boss fight that everyone goes to, and you can kind of gank other people's, I'm going to say resources or just by like killing them right at the end after they've taken out the boss and are going for an exit. So that kind of thing where it's like split focus.
So to win, you still have to defeat all the other players?
You've got to collect the most resources is the winner. You don't need to kill anyone if you get lucky, or if you and your squad work really efficiently mining resources. But you get slowed down by bosses in these little areas which you have to kill.
What's the end game to a round? Is it you evacuate? You are the last survivor?
Yeah. It's basically like have the most resources sent up to the mothership. Basically,
Is it free to play?
I believe it will be free to play. It is free to play right now, and I think that's the model. It's in early access. Another interesting component to it is that, from a gameplay perspective, even though I haven't played a lot of it, there's no. I was expecting to be able to
totally, of
climb
course.
up things because you can do that and everything now. I think the gunplay feels most like Fortnite-y. I guess like the third person over the shoulder thing is what's selling that for the most part. But in terms of like how the hits work and stuff like that,
It's like hit scan. There's no like bullet drop, and
there's arrows, a big weapon, like a common weapon that you find, and there's arrow drop. But
right, okay.
It just
Arrow
the feel of it.
existed.
Yeah, exactly. The feel of it is Fortnite-y.
Yeah.
And the other interesting thing about this is that there's other. Like PUBG has artillery hitting an area at points. This has mini like tornado snowstorms that kind of burn through the map at a crazy pace.
Yeah, cool.
And so you're just running around with your squad trying to do your thing. This is the only other player I saw in this round who my team and I managed to kill. He was at a point where you can send your resources back up. So he was trying to get his stuff out and we managed to catch him in the act.
Are there like different classes and stuff?
There's different classes that are attached to characters.
Okay.
So you'll play.
So if I want to play the chick, then I'm locked to whatever class the chick is playing.
She is proficient with shotguns, so it's like, if I want to be a shotgun player, I'll play this one.
I am a shotgun player. I like a good bullet spray.
And then at the end, the biggest thing I'll say about it at the moment is that it is really bad at explaining what's going on with like its design.
Oh, okay.
Like the 2 good rounds that I played that lasted like 15 minutes ended with me just getting caught out by the snowstorm because I had no idea it was coming.
And it is it is
Like this right now, we took a base, we were getting resources, and it's like this thing was suddenly on top of us.
But are you checking your map and you can see it or no?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. But it's just not feeding you information in a clever way.
Way all
games
the other
do.
ones have worked out a way to be like, hey, circle's closing or little sound effects.
So those white circles are the snowstorms that are moving across the map, and then there's obviously the big one. And I showed Will earlier, I killed myself here because I was like, oh no, it's happening again. It happened to me the round before that we were doing really well and we're like coming third or something. We all died. I was running to get back in the circle and I got my hammer out and wasted the last of my stamina. Stamina, you like slowly decreases across the whole game and you have to eat food to get your stamina bar back to full. Otherwise it kind of will only recover to 50%.
Yep, right.
So there's some survival mechanics in it in that way.
That's an NPC?
That's an NPC, yeah. And I wasted the last of my energy and now it's in front of me and I just freeze to death.
I like how you're still skipping gallantly through the snow with the hammer. It's
Do you
the hammer.
Do you run faster if you put the hammer away?
Maybe a little bit, but I needed to eat food. I was just out of stamina entirely.
Okay.
I really enjoy when they, as I said, they're finding new ways with the Battle Royale system to make it, to split your interest or split your attention and make it more about managing a bunch of things that are happening and you've got other people there to watch out for, because it does stop people just camping, hunting, staring, or like locking down areas. And in that sense, it looks fun. But yeah, I can see the jankiness of it too.
Yeah, and it doesn't run particularly well at the moment and has that really like basic kind of like art style. Everything's just snow. I wonder if the snow is just hard to render.
Yeah.
And then it is like quasi-futuristic kind of like, you on another planet, you're on Earth. It's been a dystopian snowstorm.
Unclear.
I was going to say, like, everything seems relatively like modern day until like, oh, you've got a hoverbot healing you. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and there's some Mad Maxy stuff going on.
And the enemies looked a little alien-ish.
Yeah, I think they're humans in outfits.
Okay.
There are definitely aliens.
It's all happening on Halloween night.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Interesting. I might give this.
Are you going to keep playing it?
Yeah, I want to play a little bit more. I kind of want it to get better before I do. I think there's some really fun ideas in here, but
definitely
it's like
the PvP
work in progress.
element. I think what kind
Well, I
of
found that fun. Yeah.
what kind of the barrier for battle royales for me is that I'm just not quick enough. If it's just like the whole thing is player on player. There's some battle royales that I've had fun with because the time that you have out in the world kind of just like collecting resources is substantial enough that I can enjoy the game before I inevitably get killed. But like most of them, it's just like I spend more time in the queue than I do in the game.
Yeah. Well, and like ultimately, you will end up fighting humans in the pointy end of the game. But
yeah, sure.
But you could avoid entirely and just
when you're in a team, though. I guess it's not so bad.
And how much does this game teach you about the dystopian snow-ridden planet in the future, Peter?
Nothing. But none of these people shot themselves in the chest because they're all
fair call.
trained professionals. Yeah. So that's that. It's like a work in progress. I'll be keeping an eye on it because it could become something really interesting.
I wanted you to play Hunt Showdown with me because I thought you'd really enjoy that from PUBG days. But I think that game is still like $89.
That's the Crytek one, right?
Yeah, it's been out for ages and it's still not like, hey, buy two, get 2 copies for $40 and share with a friend or something, because it's a really good 2-player squad game that has a lot of things that I've seen in Scavengers in a similar way. But I'll wait till this gets better, I guess.
Yeah. And the other thing that I played is part of one of our favorite segments.
Baby.
Yes.
All right.
That pops up, and for a second, I think I'm being
Baby.
shamed.
They're coming at me. To let people know who went there.
Kingdom Hearts.
I finished Kingdom Hearts. I haven't started Kingdom Hearts because I promised that I would play that on a stream at some point this year. But at the start of the year, we all said that there were games on our pile of shame that we wanted to cross off. And one of those for me was God of War. The 2018? Is it 18?
Yep. Sorry, just super quickly, Miss Silver makes a... Oh, yeah. Miss Silver points out that under construction logo has been finished, and we do need to replace
That's a good point.
video. Let's remind me to do that.
But the under construction one's also
It's
fun.
charming.
It is charming. So I've played through the first couple of hours of God of War, and it's good. There's not a lot to
Wow, he's loving it, guys.
I think that
Have
it
you
just
ever
got
heard
hyped
more
so much.
glowing review?
It got hyped so much that I'm like, okay, I see what it's doing, and it's doing everything. It's doing everything very well. I'm not invested in it yet.
It's harder to be
but I'm
critical
not
on something
liking it.
very polished versus scavengers, which are like,
Yeah.
here's all the things it's doing wrong. So, yeah.
Nick, you love it?
I just like good things. Where'd you get up to?
I got through to upgrading my axe for the first time.
So you had the fight.
Yeah, with the other Valhalla dude.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Didn't blow you away?
Yeah, it's just like the combat's just fine. Like, it's not Dark Souls, so it's like, nah. It's like it's almost Dark Souls, but it's just
not
arcadey.
Dark Souls.
You know, like, that's what, like, it just is still button mashy, really, which is fine. And then it's like, the thing you said I would not enjoy is that, like, I'm getting so many freaking menus popping up of like, upgrade this thing, put on these outfits, do this shit. And like, I don't give a shit about that. Like, I'm really I find the way they're telling the story really compelling. I'm not particularly in love with Kratos because whatever. I'm sure. Like, once I've played through this game with this version of Kratos, I will have some affection for him.
I think you will, but
he's very...
But don't expect to be like.
No, not at all. But like, he's he is a stone wall at the start of this game, and that's the point.
He's the best. He's definitely the best version of Kratos that we have. But
yeah, totally, absolutely. Yeah,
Don't take a long adventure with a father figure and expect it all to work out by the end of the game. Sorry, I keep bringing it back to that.
So yeah, it's like I think it just has been hyped so much. It is clearly a very good game.
Yeah.
It's so beautifully polished. I love throwing the axe at things.
Yeah,
like that's super fun.
That's why you're there.
Yeah,
I like
and I think like that's how I arrange my fights is to make sure I can just throw an axe at
100%,
stuff.
yeah.
But like, you know, I'm not finding the combat that interesting. It's just
I'm with you on the combat because I got quite a bit further than you, but I put it down for too long. I picked it up again, and the thing that I couldn't get past was relearning that I didn't gel with the combat in a similar kind of way. It definitely didn't feel so natural that when I picked the controller up, maybe like months after I put it down, I was like, oh, I know how to do this fighting style or this button mashy kind of arcade sort of combat.
There's some really cool things in it, obviously. Like, I love that Boy has the bow, so like you interrupt with Boy.
Yeah, which is awesome.
And like, I've only had 2 boss fights. One was that like
the stranger,
the giant dude, and then there was the stranger. And the giant thing was like, you know, just keep your distance and throw shit the whole time. And then the stranger was like cool cutscene stuff.
Yeah.
But again, it's like Azura's Wrath and stuff. It's like these epic things just feel like pretty like I didn't really have an effect on it. I just did it.
Yeah.
And then it plays out in cutscene. And
Yeah,
it's like, okay, cool.
yeah,
like it's and the fact that the camera is like it plays out as a oneer is for the most part really cool.
Yeah. I think that because I think that I love this game so much. I really love it. I get the overhyped for sure. And also that we've seen a lot of things since it came out. Like, it's been 3 years, but it's been like 3 years of awesome games have come out. I think the thing about that initial Stranger boss fight was also because I saw it at a preview event first, and I was just like, oh my god! Like
we're watching it like a movie, and
no, like I was playing it.
Oh, okay,
but like. I remember they did what you did in old God of War, where you were like small and climbed up a thing and that sort of thing. But it was like they had put God of War in The Last of Us, and that was a thing that felt very new. And that fight was just like, and everyone walked out of the preview event going, holy shit, like this is going to be wild. No.
The stranger is the dude. Like he's basically
guy who turns up at your house.
I assume he's
Yeah.
Loki.
With the-
I assume he's Loki or something.
Yeah, he's been
yeah.
sitting on his hand, so it's numb. Yeah, another one. No one got that joke?
I get it. So,
It's fine.
and Steph's nieces. When you block yours, when you are bored with masturbating with your hand, you sit on your other hand or the masturbating hand until it goes numb, and then when you masturbate,
So it feels like
it's
someone
else's hand.
I get it,
Yeah.
I get
And
it,
that's
I
why
get
they
it.
Called
call
The
it
Stranger, famously made funny in the film Road Trip from 2001, a very popular video game.
Really?
Euro Trip is what he said before. Oh God. Okay. Good. God of War. Are you going to keep going?
Yeah, absolutely,
So you
yeah.
are. Is the plan? I mean, the plan was to knock it off the pile of shame.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
we ever agree on a system where it's like if you got halfway through and you were like, this doesn't deserve to be on the pile of shame?
Yeah, look, yeah.
up.
If I get to a point where I'm not enjoying it, I'm not going to play it. But I am enjoying it.
Yeah. Cool. So you're going to play 5 minutes of Kingdom Hearts.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Potentially. But I'm going to play that on stream, and so then I'll have more incentive to play it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
You'll enjoy it more on stream because
Totally.
you'll be able to complain about it and people will be able to hear you complaining.
Yeah.
I do want to point out that the Curtie says the stranger is no Dutch rudder, and I have to agree with that.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
So a Dutch
That's
rudder
from-
is where you take someone else's hand and you just control the forearm, but they do the masturbating on you, but you're controlling the forearm.
That seems ineffective.
It is, but it in the eyes of
Something
God,
to
I
do.
believe it means you never did anything. That's you didn't do the action. That's kind of where I believe the joke was the fact that you never did it yourself. Therefore,
In the
it's
eyes of God.
Handbake in the chat. This is why the show is so
was your
good.
childhood
I'm
okay?
always learning something.
The most fucking Catholic shit I've ever heard.
I'm not
God.
Catholic. I'm just saying
In
that
the
was
eyes
where
of
I believe the joke of that maneuver came from. Hi, Dad.
Oh my God.
Oh, I'm so sorry, everybody. Okay, good. Steph, what have you been playing?
You're Dutch, aren't you?
I thought you were gonna grab my elbow for a second.
Isn't it forearm?
It's like steering a boat. Wait,
A Dutch rudder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we'll come back to this.
Yeah, you grab a
makes-
rudder
that makes
and then you
sense.
take the tip of the rudder and you rub it again.
I will.
Will is the only safe option
Oh,
right
did you
now.
get it? I'll eat it.
They were catching more bugs to eat. What the fuck is happening on this show?
I don't know.
Where did these moths come from?
I don't know.
Oh, it's because
Me. I think
we left the assorted creams out.
Yeah. That's why
My cream
they are out from
Again.
last week.
and moth-ridden cream.
It's because we left the. I was like, it's come back in Gus's warm
Swag
for
or
5
something.
days clothes.
No, it is. We need to invest. We need to allocate some company money towards some Tupperware.
We do need some
This is a
Tupperware.
serious
Like, we need to
issue.
invest in Tupperware.
Yeah, no, you're right, because people send us shit all the time, and then
yeah.
we like this bowl of M&Ms has just been sitting out for a week.
Aged perfectly.
They
though.
did taste very good.
candy shell.
You do want to air them. Yeah.
Preserves them.
Oh god. Okay.
Yes, I've been playing Destiny 2 new season, season of the Splicer.
So the splicer is when you take two hands and then you chop them in half, glue them together, and then you use that to jerk yourself off.
That's called the Castle Dimitri.
I was about to say that's the Evan
Yeah.
Winters
Yeah.
special.
Okay.
Destiny.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll talk about video games in the post show. We'll do post show.
I'm taking notes. Please slow down.
Okay, so to set the scene, the Vex have created a simulation to block the sun.
Again?
Crazy. So they the last city is plunged into eternal night.
Yeah, cool.
And we have forged an alliance with a group of the Fallen, the Elixni, who are pro-humans and the Traveler. And so we've kind of formed an alliance with this kind of group, and we're trying to kind of hack into override the Vex cyber thing.
Yeah.
And like
Their neural net or something.
Yeah. So the result is that the new kind of content is in this really cool vaporwavy, synthy, like cyber realm, which looks awesome. It's kind of similar to, I guess, the Prophecy Dungeon, if you've done that like visually, but it plays out like, I guess the sort of lure charge function. There's a similar kind of gameplay mechanic where you have a gauntlet that allows you to hack into the like mainframe and and combat the Vex and like set everything to right again. There's going to be like new kind of quests like quest steps released each week. But so far we've been having fun just kind of running through this override section.
Love the look.
Well, it's not like hugely different, but like it's fun being in this kind of setting because it feels weirdly.
It feels like a video game.
Yeah, it's the setting where like Kevin from Textures is like, "What have you got for us?" Well, what if? And stay with me on this one because it's a bit weird. No textures.
No, it's
Kevin
cool.
from Textures.
Or Stacey from Accounts. I believe that's how video games are made. People in departments.
So yeah, it's fun to play through because it's like a lot of portals and holes and stuff that take you into kind of different realms and areas, and the Vex, when they kind of build areas like this, there's platforms and stuff.
Yeah, it's a bit like the transporting forest or disappearing forest or what was it, forest, where you go through and like everything's sort of rearranging itself around you.
The Vex to me are the most confusing of all of the Destiny like enemies that you fight. Like I don't really understand their motivation or what they want. Like I understand the Fallen and I understand the Cabal, but the Vex, like,
they're kind of mindless drones taking over. Aren't they from?
But they're not necessarily mindless either, right? Like, because they like choose sides sometimes.
Yeah.
Right.
I just don't understand what they want and why they've made our.
They want to go back to the 80s.
I'll tell you what they are.
They want to go back.
They're an excellent enemy.
They are.
They're a lot
they're
of
fun to
kill.
shoot.
They're
Yeah.
really good to
I also like.
They
that
want textures.
I enjoy enemies that have their crit spot right in the middle of their body because I'm bad at lining up headshots.
Yeah.
Sure.
So when I can just shoot the middle, which is my default place to shoot things,
Yep.
then I get the crit. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
I was going to mention as well, like, this is, considering there is a Vex in it, this is straight out of a Vexia's
Logo.
Pop art logo that we made.
Yeah.
It looks.
We could get some money for this.
It looks really cool. It's a really fun kind of area to be in, and I feel
Vextures. Someone's putting in chat. Very good.
Do I need to have
That is
finished
melting.
the last expansion to start accessing this stuff?
No, I don't think so.
No?
You just need to play through enough of the. If you want to use like stasis and stuff, then you need to.
Yeah.
But the launching off point from it can be done from.
But no, you
from
can
anywhere.
you can start this whenever. What's changed is that there's now like a in addition to the tower, there is Helm, which is an acronym for something that I've forgotten, but it's like a ship that you have in space that's like your new kind of hub area
cool.
that you're going to.
Yeah, nice.
And that's been sort of slowly being built out, which is cool. But yeah, it's fun. It's like it's hard to kind of get excited about Destiny until there is another expansion, and I don't think there's going to be another expansion until next year. But like I took a bit of a break, and now I missed it a lot, and now that I've got back in, it's kind of fun to be playing through this kind of very visually different area.
Yeah, I skipped that whole last season, so I feel like I'll jump into play
The whole
some
last
of this.
season was on like snowy planets again, right? Pretty.
Well, that's
but
the-
still-
That was the
expansion.
expansion.
That was the
Yeah.
expansion.
Yeah.
Because there's the
Yeah.
expansion, then the seasons are just like you get some like
Story
gear and
drop
story
and-
stuff.
yeah.
But this is also all setting up for the Vault of Glass, which is one of the raids from Destiny 1, I think,
Yeah,
which they are
that's the one I
re-releasing.
ran.
the OG one.
very first. one.
Yeah. So I've never done it, so I'm excited to kind of try it out.
Yeah,
and
cool.
I'm excited to see how that sort of ties into this whole storyline with the Vex and everything.
Do you know if they've done anything to change the Vault of Glass? Like if they've updated?
It has been changed,
Stripped of
tweaked.
textures.
I don't know what.
Yeah, I think
exactly they've done.
I think they will have changed it to fit this whatever the narrative is they're tying it into now with Mithrax and the whole thing.
You used to be able to cheese the final boss really easily as well, so they've probably.
Well, it was their first one, so I imagine
Yeah.
it was like I do remember doing.
They're pretty like on top of patching those things now. They every time.
Well, that's what I'm
find
saying.
it-
I
If
reckon
it's a
it'll be very
redesign
different.
of sorts, I'm sure that'll be one of the
Yeah.
major things they do
Yeah.
patch
Yeah.
or make a little trickier.
I just Destiny is definitely the game that I wish I had more time for. It's just like it's such a fun.
The challenge that I
Like-
find with it, like WoW, is that like when I'm playing it, I can only play it
Yeah,
because I just
It's
need
so-
to be playing it constantly.
It's so
I feel
hard
the
to
call
keep
play
up.
all
Like
the
I already
time.
like I don't know. I feel like I'm just giving myself I'm putting less pressure on myself as well at the moment to just make sure that I'm like my light level is maxed and everything is like, because otherwise it does get like that and it takes over. But
It's built around FOMO.
Yeah.
Like it's built around the idea that like there is always something happening.
Yeah, and exotics to get and stuff like that. But I think when I first started playing, it was like a mad race to play as much as I could before they removed all of that content before the expansion. And now I feel like I sort of dipped out of it over the last couple of months and then played a few other shooters and then realized why I like Destiny so much because other shooters are lame in comparison.
Oh man, just Bungie, they just know exactly
The other
what to
cool
do to
thing-
make something a gun feel satisfying.
Yeah. The other cool
no
thing
one
they've
like
added, which I haven't had a look yet because I just need to dedicate like half a day by myself to fully get into it, is they finally introduced a transmog system.
Yeah.
So that you can
We've been talking about that for so long.
Yeah.
I know, crazy. So they're finally allowing you to,
Dress the way you want.
dress the way you want. Yeah, you can kind of create ornaments out of the armor pieces that you like and keep the stats of the armor pieces that you need. And so that's pretty cool. And I'm excited to kind of hodgepodge something together and try all that out. It'd just be really great if they could just get on top of crossplay. I think that's the thing that's really
They launched
lacking.
it this week for about 10 seconds.
Really?
Yeah, so
right.
there was because the launch of this went really badly.
Yeah, right.
And of this season
I've heard there's some
started and
bad
like
bugs
no
and
one
stuff.
could log on and shit.
Yeah.
But then there were some people who were logging on and getting into parties on PC with people on Xbox and PlayStation, and it was like active for a bit. They would join the party and they would appear and then they would disappear. So it's
right.
like there was some bug in the background that had enabled crossplay.
That's so funny.
and they hadn't meant to. So it could be coming soon. Destiny's just so much fun, man. And it's also just like at night, like 10:30 p.m. You've got a drink, you've got a widescreen monitor. You turn the lights off,
bloody
and you just like,
right,
it
you
looks
do.
so good. It is just like that world. It sounds so good. Everything about that game I love, except for the time commitment, which is why I always play the first 4 hours of a Destiny expansion, and then I'm like, I'm done. They should do what Assassin's Creed does, where there's always the little island that you start on that you can complete, and then it goes title sequence, and then the game
you
starts.
can be like,
Yeah.
So it should be like there's a little bit of Destiny that
Yeah.
you can like complete, and then it's like, cool, you did it, and it's like, all right, great, that's all I need.
They always do. Everyone's like, "What's endgame like for the new one?" It's like,
No.
what's start game like?
Yeah.
Let's get a nice little tight start game there for people.
Not even that pre-game.
Pre-game.
Yeah.
This is a finisher card.
Cool.
Destiny.
Good. Well, I'm glad you're back in. I feel like you not talking about Destiny just isn't back pocket. So, Will.
Nothing? I don't get... There's been, like, lovely segues all night. I get just Will?
Will, what have you been
him
seeing with your eyes?
Yeah, Will, what have you been? If I was to chop off your arm and use it to,
Try and bond with your father.
Don't.
What would you?
Don't.
What would it? What
Don't.
kind of game would it be?
Hey, Will.
say
Speaking of doing horrible things to the human body, what have you been playing?
For the first time ever, I've done horrible things to the human body. I've never played nor watched anything to do with Mortal Kombat, and I did both of those over the past week. I
Rip
watched...
some spines out of people.
You finished them?
I gotta admit, no. So the game that I played...
Oh, sorry, that's not the Stranger game. It was,
Yeah, I know what you meant, but then I know what you thought you meant, and then it was all very funny. I got the joke. It just took me a moment to get there in my mind.
Will?
Games. I've been playing Mortal Kombat 11.
Cool.
Because
Oh, yeah, bro.
I saw the film, and I was like, I enjoyed this. Everything was very stupid. I want to know if that's right.
This is the most recent film.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So the new 2021 film. I wanted to make sure that it is supposed to be stupid. I played this game, and it's still stupid, but I love both of them.
Okay.
Yeah, nice.
I think I've found, like, I love my stories in games, and I love doing very little in them, and I like the story to basically look like a movie, and that the gameplay also does that. And I think this is, like, more of that.
Totally.
It's
The
like...
cutscenes in this and like the story. Obviously, you have to flesh out a heap in between what is literally now fight each other quickly.
Yeah.
But there's something about the like hefty character models, the good facial animation, that the engine this is built in for those cutscenes. I loved and didn't get far enough through it. How far?
The main campaign of this is only 6 hours, so I burnt through this. There's another like post game. I think it's like a 3-hour campaign.
So good.
There's so many of those little spire things on different.
Could you do me a
maps.
favor and go, could we skim back to that for something that no one else will really care about? When that happens, the blood goes out over the HUD, doesn't it?
Oh, no.
Like there's elements that fly up over the HUD. Yeah, like characters
Even the
included.
bodies and stuff,
That's
yeah.
cool. I've never noticed that before.
And speaking of the gameplay itself, you don't do a lot of it over the course of the 6 hours, but it is so. There's something about almost not winning and the tussle between the two that is always engaging because you're basically living a film. It's like, no, I need this character to survive. Otherwise I have to do the whole bit again. The little opening dialogue over and over again, which isn't fun. And there's also moments where you get to choose between characters, which is also really fun because I don't know who any of these people are. So I'm basing I'm script writing as I go, and I'm like, okay, so this character is apparently related to this one. But what if I choose the one that isn't related? Because then they have this little bit where it's like, I'm gonna fight your brother, so you can go do the other thing. So it's not weird that you're fighting your brother. It's really fun.
But isn't this like any story in a fighter game where they have to just come up with more reasons for characters to have conflict to the point that I remember even talking about the Injustice game and stuff, there'd be reasons where characters would just in the middle of a story beat have a squabble and be like, well, now we're going to fight. And you're like, wait. You're just angry about something. And I remember from what I played...
Can't resolve every thing with this.
Every argument does not need to be just resolved with Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Which was one of the bits of the film that I was like, this feels really stupid that they just keep fighting over them. And it's what happens. So it's like, they've done a very good job. Like when the Aussie guy turns up and she's like, I don't like you. And he's like, I don't like you either. And
Fight.
I guess so. But
Is this the one that's on Game Pass?
Yes. I think
It is?
Yeah.
Yes. This
Sorry.
is on Game Pass. I think X is on PS Plus.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
10 is on on the other one. But
Right, okay.
But yes, no, this one is. I grabbed it before that was there, and so I have to suffer that burden of able to play on a Game Pass. But no, it's good fun, and it's. I'm just excited to have. I'm excited for when not Square Enix, NetherRealm does a showcase. I'm excited to see a Mortal Kombat trailer, and I've never had that before.
Yeah.
It's
nice.
a new game to add to my repertoire of ooh, I wonder if there's going to be a sequel soon.
I wonder as well the fact that and there's few of us out there, but you played this purely for the story, therefore you don't play this game competitively, because I believe that's what fighters split their audiences into almost. It's like the people who will just pick this up and pick their favorite character and play online and just play tournaments to get really good at a fighter versus playing all the different characters and wanting to see all the cutscenes. It feels like very polar opposite.
Yeah, but all the talk I ever hear about Mortal Kombat is the story. The last few Mortal Kombat games have been that the story is actually awesome and that it's just so well told. And the same as it's like Injustice. And speaking of Giant Bomb, who we spoke about at the beginning of the week, they're huge fighting game guys, and they only ever would talk about how fucking cool the story is in this game because it's so over the top.
Yeah, I don't hear much about people playing Mortal Kombat competitively.
Yeah, whereas Street Fighter is
Tekken,
that's
more
true.
technical
Yeah.
fighters, yeah. Yeah, Mortal
I've
Kombat's always
always
been
meant
about
to be-
Sub-Zero versus Scorpion. There's always been character, and while Street Fighter has Ryu and whatever, it's that whole thing is very boring as a story.
Totally.
It's the fighting tournament is much tamer.
Yeah.
Whereas
There's no cross-world NetherRealm, not NetherRealm, Netherworld and Life Side, Dark Side, all that kind of stuff.
And there's just so much silliness in this.
Yeah.
So, Will, you'd recommend playing this?
Yeah, I would. And as someone who hasn't played any of the others, this totally works on its own. It's fun to try and to listen to every stupid line of dialogue to go, that's pretty, and enjoy the story as it unfurls. So
I think it was actually 9. 9 was the first one with the awesome revamp story.
Yeah.
So I think it's 9, 10, 11 is what you play to get the full arc of what this is. This has been on my pile of shame for ages because it's just this is the weird story stuff that I love. So I definitely.
My last quick question: is this the one where the story, all of them, there's a parallel universe version of everyone?
There's a brief overview. Apparently, it's Raiden. Well, everyone defeated Shinnok, and then Raiden took his bad power, and that made him really evil. So the Time Lords of this universe have come in and been this is naughty. Stop doing this.
Yep.
And they've brought the past versions in.
Because that always helps stories when they can duplicate the whole cast. Injustice
And
had
murder them.
all the evil versions and all the good versions. And so they have a reason to have all these awkward matchups. It's been in every fighter story, and I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Great. Good.
Cool, man.
I'm glad you've been enjoying. And then what have I been enjoying? I've been enjoying 2 games this week. I have not played a lot this week at all. I too have been busy with house things, trying to buy a house.
Yep.
It's a very complicated process. And I don't think it's going to happen this week.
I'm so excited for you, though. However long the journey may be for you to
Years.
Yeah. So I have played things that I've been contractually obligated to play, and one of those is Resident Evil Village for the Back Pocket Game Club this week, which has been very fun, very enjoyable to play, very fun to play with everybody, and I concur with everything that you guys said last week on just that. So far, the first hour of the game is like the scariest thing in the whole game.
Yep.
But the second big area is my favorite thing in the game so far, I think. But the thing that I have loved the most is playing with people, because everyone has been very fun to play with. And there was a part on the last stream that I did where it was in that second area, and the second area just like the mildest of spoilers, which is just about like some things that you see in that area at the very beginning. There's just a lot of dolls. And I get into that area, and it was already like coming off the back of the where you were before, and the horror had lightened for sure. And then
They were ready to go dark
and then it was
again.
like I turn the corner and go through this gate, and then suddenly we're back in like proper fucking horror shit. And so I start getting really like nervous, and so I start talking, and you know, Steph, sometimes I just say things and they just start coming out of the top of my head.
But I like that you were saying, again, kind of angry, because I've done that in horror movies and things. You're like, fuck.
Yeah, totally.
pots and pans.
Yeah, you
Pots of
just wanna-
pants,
you
pots
just
of
want to like get more aggressive than the game could get, and maybe you'll,
And so I started just like rattling off a stream of consciousness. And then at the end of that, I said, oh, you know what would be really cool if someone did something with that. And I was like, I know one of you will. Like, one of you will transcribe everything that I just said. And so 2 things happened. One, Will, could we bring up the picture? Because this was the first thing, and so Coastal City sent this to me and basically transcribed everything I said and put it on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
So I just want to read to you what the t-shirt says, which is, so as you're walking through this area, there's little dolls, there's a pram, there's an apparition of Mia, your wife, and then there's a gate. These are the 4 things that I come across. Oh shit, little dolls. Shit, little dolls. Shit. It's a nice callback though, because we walked in and there are all those hanging people, and then, oh shit, little dolls. Shit. Oh shit. Okay, little dolls. I shit on little dolls. That's my kink. I shit on little dolls. Oh, little prams. Shit, little prams. Oh shit. Little disembodied, little dolls and little prams. Shit, little doll prams. Fucking, I shit in little doll prams. That's my kink. Oh shit, ghost of my wife. Oh fuck, shit, little ghosty normal sized ghost of my normal sized ghost wife. Oh god, I shit on my ghost wife. That's my kink. Oh shit, locked gate with a little fucking doll. Shit, oh yeah, little doll, creepy doll area. Little big lock gate getting me. Not able to get to the little dolls. I shit on lock gates. That's my kick. Okay, fuck, I'm fucking done. So that's what I had just prattled off.
Sure.
So I
When can we buy the t-shirt?
well, I got that t-shirt made today, so it's going to be here. It should be here by next week.
Amazing.
Thank you very much. So as I was saying that, as at the end, I was like, someone will transcribe this, and I'm going through the list of people watching. And then as I'm going through the list, Will, if we could get the video, I also said this, and then this happened. But it needs to be word for word. Word for word, whoever's going to do it, because I know one of you will.
Nicrotex 100% will, but he'll turn it into like a song and a video as well.
Is he frozen?
Shit, little dolls. Shit. Shit, little dolls. Shit, little dolls.
Ghost.
That's my kink.
Ah, little prams. Shit, little prams. Ah, shit, little disembodied. Do little dolls and little prams. Shit. Little doll prams. Shit, little doll prams. That's my kink. Ah, shit. Goes to my wife. Oh, fuck. Shit. Got a little ghost. Shit.
Shit in little doll prams, that's my kink. Shit in little doll prams, that's my kink. Shit. I shit on my ghost wife, that's my kink. Shit. I shit on my ghost wife, that's my kink. Oh shit, little dolls. Shit, little dolls. Shit, do the little dolls and little prams. Shit, little dolls. Shit, do the little dolls and little prams. Shit. I shit on LokiCat, that's my kink.
Okay, I'm fucking done. Amazing. So thank you very much, Nicrotex.
Well done.
Amazing.
For context, I think Miles had definitely come into the chat at that point, and I think Miles started bringing up, he was like, someone was talking about in the chat, like, what's the difference between a kink and a fetish? So that's why I said shitting on little dolls is my kink. It was already on the brain.
Oh, man.
But so we got a rap song and a t-shirt out of that stream, so that feels pretty good. So that is Resident Evil that I've been playing. The other thing...
Part of Game Club and still watchable on YouTube, those ones. They're
yes,
up now.
yeah, they've finally got it to Will so that he can upload to YouTube. Sorry. I think we're about halfway through the game, so we've got a couple more streams to go. But yeah, I've been loving it, so heaps of fun. And then the other thing that I played a little bit of, came out this week officially, is Subnautica Below Zero, which I got really excited about when I remembered that it existed 2 weeks ago and saw some trailers and they was talking about how it's about to come out in a full release. I have been playing, I think it actually came out today, maybe it comes out tomorrow, but I bought the early access version, which is basically exactly identical to the game, but they've just locked the ending, and then when the game comes out, they'll unlock the ending and add a couple of other things, but your save will carry on.
Yeah, nice.
And I have not got too far in it at all, but it did... For those of you who haven't played Subnautica, it's sort of like a survival game where you're mainly underwater. It's resource gathering and that sort of thing. It's single player, but it is just so atmospheric. And it doesn't have the jank that so many of these survival games have, where it's like that sort of like Rust style running around and everything's a bit weird and janky. It's just like when you go underwater, it is so beautiful. It's so atmospheric. It's so creepy. I think it's so effective that I can be swimming in this like coral reef area, and then I can take a turn and be swimming a bit and then sort of look down and realize I'm actually above like much deeper ocean. And the human man sitting in a very dry room is like, oh God, and like get really nervous about like what's down there. And I think that's hard to do, to really get an authentic reaction with something like that.
Totally.
So I am really excited about playing through this. Steph and I were talking about it, or Pete and I were talking about it in the news earlier in the week, where this has a little more narrative than the first game did as well. There's like an actual reason that you're here, and there's a bit of a plot dragging you through. So, like I said, not particularly far at all, but again, I'm just loving being back in this space, and I am so going to be... Again, it's another great 11 o'clock at night, widescreen, lights off.
Did you play much of the original?
Yeah, I played about... Like, Steph and I played some for screenplay, and then I think I played about 6 hours or so.
Yeah, I would say that sensation you're talking about, I've never felt it the same way as in the first one of these games, which is just... You've been to space, you've been to, I don't know, in other biomes and that kind of stuff, but really just embracing depth of water and knowing that you have limitations. If anyone played the original, the whole part of the game's progression is obviously unlocking different ways to be able to breathe. I imagine they do a similar thing here, where in the first game it was like you could only dive to a certain depth, you needed more oxygen.
Yes,
you have to build equipment to go deper and deeper.
You build like oxygen tanks and things that fill up your oxygen tanks. And
which,
like,
as a survival mechanic, it just works, only really works well in underwater, but is just so affecting. And
well, I was just going to say, like, this version of Subnautica looks a bit like Breath Edge to me, which had that narrow drive. You're in space. You need to improve your oxygen capacity and work out how you're going to navigate this certain big, vast vacuum, but also get to little like pockets of air. Which is like what we're just looking at right now.
And a couple of people asked in chat, is this a separate game or DLC? It's a separate game. It's a totally standalone.
I will say, like, I'm disappointed I'm sure it goes away when you play it, but straight off the bat, the best thing about that first game was crash landing, opening the thing and looking at and seeing nothing but ocean. And one big crash ship. And there were land masses you got to, but that's straight away that feeling of being like, there's nothing in this game for me. And then diving in and being like, oh my God, the world is flipped. Everything I want to find is at the deepest point here. And that sensation in the first one was great, which I feel like here, obviously, Ice Planet, things are a little different.
So far,
story devices for that.
Well, so far, everything that I've encountered on the surface is zero. Like, it's like you literally just like crash land and then run off that ice. And then at some points I went back up and went on there and there's really nothing there.
Okay, cool.
There's some cool
Yeah.
plants. There's like these heater plants because you're balancing your temperature as well. When you're outside, you start getting too cold. There's these heater plants that you can run through. So I think there will be some more stuff where you are above land. But it definitely has that thing of like, it's very sparse up the top and then you go underwater and it's just like blossoming.
And the scares you get out of this, now from playing a game with me, like creatures underwater scare the crap out of me in video games. And some of the best scares I've had, I think I have another shit myself moment on Spawn Point from years ago, of having the moment that huge thing grabs your ship and shakes you around. It is like seeing a huge lurching shadow moving towards you in the water. Oh,
The original Dutch rudder.
So I if significant things happen this week, then I'll talk about it again next week. But I'm happy to be back in the Subnautica world because really enjoyed that first game, and this has more of the things that I like.
And polished, considering the first one was kind of an early act. It had a complete. You can look at the first version of Subnautica and then the finished version, and it's so different. Like the first one has no UI. It's like everything just kind of like sticks up like placeholders, and where they.
I remember trying to like build pipes to the surface for air and stuff like that.
That was still in it, but I think their earliest version of it looks super primitive to where they got it to. Whereas here they've picked
up right.
We have an engine. We now know how this looks. So that's kind of a cool reason to dive into this one.
There you go. All right. And on that, we're going to go to an ad break.
Find out what common household item can kill you, your family, and everyone you love right after these commercials.
Sick of being seen? Camo!
Because you deserve to smell
Rash, Akarash, and Buzzard.
Make this ninth life his big body time.
All wood is just dicks.
Roller Star.
The Learn Programming Academy.
What the fuck did you just say?
That's wild. Online business needs Nicrotex.
Do not take Avexia if...
Nathan. No. It's nothing but fucking...
Next time you want a mint, reach for a deaf mint. Disclaimer, deaf mints aren't actually mints. Eating a deaf mint is tantamount to and quite literally is cannibalism. Where would you even start? If you were going to eat a human, starting with the head, that means you're straight up copying a mouthful of hair, and that's no way to eat a person. You should start with the feet, nibbling on each individual toe just to get used to the taste of human flesh. Then work your way up to the ankle. The shin is mainly just bone, so you won't fill up too fast like bread at the start of a meal. Then it's just one mouthful at a time until you get to the neck, and yes, now you're heading into head territory.
But by this time it should all seem pretty normal and you're thinking, well, I've just consumed a whole man. What harm is a small amount of hair going to do to me now?
Deafmints, available at the candy aisle in all participating supermarkets.
That's great.
Oh, no one saw that coming. Good Lord. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you very much to Rhys and Amiira for sending in your word from our sponsors. We got adorable animals.
Yes.
So cute.
And excellent production value and a great gag. So,
so
thank you very
funny.
much.
Yay.
And
Timing. Divine.
thank you to Deafmints for your continued patronage and the Deafmints commercial. Love the Deafmints commercial.
We
One of the OGs.
on how different we looked there.
Totally, yeah.
Me, nothing but hair. You, nothing but tash.
Yeah.
I looked the same on the other side of the camera.
You did. Very much
Rhys
so.
decked out in all the pocket merch.
I know.
That was good. The pocket face mask was excellent. All right. If you want some pocket merch, then head to backpocket.com. No, head to backpocket.gg, which a massive thank you to Rithmaster, Simon Vin in the Discord, who helped me solve the SSL issue that we had where some people go into the backpocket.gg, it was sort of like timing out and stuff.
Oh.
And so he actually just like talked me through the whole thing, and I did it all. It didn't work. And so then I sent him the username and password and did it himself. So thanks, Simon,
what a legend.
for your help on that. All right. It is time to move on to the next segment of this fine program. A little segment called Pete's Party Time.
Pete's party, yeah. It's Pete's party time. Party.
It's interesting because
Good to play that.
It does feel good.
Feels so good.
we say it's Pete's Party Time and then the title's a Party Peter, but we'll never
We're never going to change that up.
correct either.
Again, that's why Rhys is still under construction in the other one.
Yeah, that's why it's still our
We don't
game.
time.
Once it's done, it's done.
There's no
That's why
time.
It's still our gaming week.
Gaming week.
And you'll tell from the title sequence for this Pete's Party Time that we don't have spare time to put into anything else. There's no production value or effort that goes into anything. For this Pete's Party Time, a little game we're calling...
There is a party dimension beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension not vast, but very normal-sized, and as timeless as Gus shitting himself. It lies between the cock of the face and the testicle of the foot. This is the dimension of Pigawale. It is a game which we call the Home Zone.
William, bloody legend.
Nothing like a perfect recreation of a sequence that is not known by probably anyone in our audience. Like, I'm assuming if I go and look up the actual
I think
Twilight,
1964 is the original.
it'll be like timing-wise, image placement-wise, everything the same, but not lost on anyone.
I think I've only ever seen one episode of Twilight Zone, but I feel like it's a thing that exists and has been if it's been parodied enough, then people.
I've seen it. Yeah, if
There's something on the wing.
sad that we didn't come back all black and white in suits smoking.
With the shadow of blinds on our faces.
This is the Home Zone. And Peter, can you talk us through what
So
the fucking Home Zone is?
the Home Zone.
So self-explanatory.
I think it makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
It's a
No
funny
explanation
name
necessary.
for a spin on celebrity heads. Everyone knows what celebrity heads is. These guys have a headband they're going to put around their head, and they're going to put a card in that headband, which is going to be the thing that they need to guess that they are.
Oh, I see.
So each contestant in this version of the game has 4 cards. They have 5, but they've got 4 cards to win the game. Let's make it complicated right from the start.
They got 4 cards. Well, they got 5. Well,
They got. What we're trying to do is focus down on a more specific thing, starting really broad. Each of them is going to start with a video game title that they need to guess, and then the following cards will be something that appears in that video game, down to something really ludicrously specific that they will not be able to guess.
I love that in your description of that, you chose the words, they need to focus in on something, not
Hone in.
hone in on something. But sure, focus in on it.
Mate, I wrote a script, so I used the word hone once.
Okay.
I'm going to give everyone an example so that they can kind of follow through. Say someone got the game Super Mario 64.
Which is the first card, is a game.
The first card is a video game. The following cards could be anything.
We'll
a location.
all have a video game.
You'll all have a video game. The following cards could be a location, an item, and ending on an idea that appears in that video game. So it could be that the next thing is that you've got one of the stars from Super Mario 64. You could be the location Snowman's Land, which is one of the early levels of Super Mario 64.
Pronounced Snowman's Land. Yeah. Snowman.
Honeman's Land. Well, it's one word.
It's a snowman.
It's a snowman.
Stick to the script.
Following up, this guy, go back to the middle of the country. Do you want to play Pete's Party or not?
I'm not sure.
It could be the mother penguin from Snowman's Land. Or it could be the final card, which would be the anguish of a mother whose child just got lobbed off a cliff.
Wow.
So all the cards each person will get will relate to their first game.
Correct.
They'll all have to do something with
So
that
first round, we have to establish the game.
Yep.
Then the subsequent 3 cards will be things pertaining to that game.
Yep.
The
Fifth?
fourth, the fifth.
The fifth card.
Final
so
card.
The,
Fifth and
the
final
first,
card is
yeah.
some weird existential thing that we are never going
Correct. And the only reason that exists is because they're funny and to keep people in the game.
Yeah, cool.
Because I don't want someone to finish first and then not be able to play.
Got it.
The
Okay.
first person to get to that 5th card won.
Technically wins, yeah.
And then they get to just keep playing. It's going to play the same way that Celebrity Heads works. If you get a yes, you get to ask another question. If you get a no, it moves to the next person. I'll start with Nick and we'll work down the couch and move back up.
You've pre-piled these cards. So
I've pre-piled the card.
All our number 1 cards.
They're in a specific order.
Now, I do want to point out that this, and I want to warn the audience, this is going to be one of those things that's either going to be amazing or it's going to be terrible.
This is going to be awful, so I'm going to play the Hone Zone trailer again at the end of this because it might be the last time we have to say it.
Good use of media. It's either going to be, what was the list again? What do we call that?
That was called What the Fuck Did You Just Say to Me?
It's either going to be What the Fuck Did You Just Say to Me?
Yep.
Or a list.
No, not even a list, because the list.
Okay,
It's going to be
either
the
gonna be
character build.
Character build from Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
Or it's going to be another one of those.
Can we put in our first cards?
Yes.
We got to kill our feedback.
Yeah, we can do that.
Fallback.
But yes, if you can switch that off for us, thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone grab your number 1 card and pop them up in there.
Well, these have been printed, so they're a little bit.
How do you put it?
It's kind of like you've got to
little
push
teeth.
the bottom out.
Yeah, you gotta push.
Push the bottom out, slip it in the 3 teeth.
Yeah. We call this, when you push the bottom out.
Don't use your teeth.
Don't use your teeth.
You're cutting, are you?
Okay. Is mine in a way that it's going to stay?
I think
Yes.
so.
Yeah, okay.
Totally.
Cool.
Yeah, I can just fix that one.
And chat as well. You'll help by not dropping the names.
Yeah.
In,
Oh, God.
Yeah, please don't.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Nick. Your first question
Yeah.
to ascertain the game that you're focusing in on, you're honing in on.
Do I love this game?
That,
No.
yes,
Okay.
but
But it's not like one of my
It's
top
not your
5 or
favorite
something.
games.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Am I a Nintendo game?
no.
Have I played this game?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it a Nintendo game?
No.
No.
Am I an RPG?
Not really.
No. Not in the way that you would think.
No.
Am I a story-based game?
No.
Am I a shooter?
No.
No.
You have guns.
Am I a game with a female protagonist?
If you
If
wanted.
you choose to.
Ooh, okay.
Yes.
And that's a half answer, so that's a no.
Am I a fighting game?
No.
Am I an action game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay. Am I third person?
No.
Am I sci-fi game?
You are.
Yes.
Am I Mass Effect?
No.
Or not.
Damn.
Am I... Shit. Not a story-based game,
No.
and I'm kind of okay with this game. Am I like a... Am I a really hardcore game?
Yeah.
Yes.
Am I StarCraft?
No.
No.
Oh.
Am I a first person game?
Yes.
You are.
Am I a silent protagonist?
Not.
Yes.
No, the character says stuff, not so.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, that's true. That's true. Yep, sorry.
I'm sorry, and I have to do this all the time. I'm first person, I'm an action game, I'm not a Nintendo game, and I'm not a third person game, and I'm not a shooter.
It's not. You have guns, and you do, and your character does talk.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But you got it wrong.
I've got it
Steph,
now.
go. Yep.
So I am a sci-fi game.
Yep.
You can play as a female character if you want to.
Yep.
Am I Destiny?
Yes. Your Destiny 2.
Yeah.
Your Destiny 2. All right. You're on to card number 2.
Should we keep going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick can jump in.
Okay, I'll go. Yeah, cool. Okay, I'm a hardcore game. I like it. Am I Civilization?
No.
You are not.
Damn.
Am I Resi Village?
No.
No. You are not.
Fuckers. Oh, wait.
Okay.
Am I a type of enemy in Destiny 2?
No.
You are not.
Can I have a clue?
You can. Your clue is that we have played it on as one of the earlier.
Am I Microsoft Flight Simulator?
You are. You are
You're
Microsoft
now
Flight
card 2.
Simulator. Please move to card 2.
And I'm Resi 7.
And you are Resi 7.
Right. Well done,
I think
everyone.
I know what my existential thing is as well.
So look at that.
This is Nick's. This is Nick's new one. The audience should be seeing that.
Get in there.
And
Look up. I do this. Pull it out.
Oh, yeah.
Gus's new card.
Can you see that? Yeah. I'll let Stephanie look.
Last tooth. Okay.
Very nice.
Good.
Very nice.
Yep,
very
good,
nice. Very
good,
nice.
good,
Okay, the game is working.
The game is working.
Nick's
So
not-
Steph,
oh, no.
because Nick got his, and then you got yours straight away.
Okay.
Yep.
Nope.
So Steph's go.
Okay. Yep.
Am I a type of weapon?
You are not a type
No.
of weapon.
Am I a plane?
You are not a plane.
Am I an enemy from the game?
You are not an enemy from the game.
Am I a location in the game?
Yes,
You are a
you are.
location in the game.
Am I a planet?
No.
Okay.
Am I the pilot?
You are not the pilot.
Am I a location in the game?
You are not the location.
Am I a raid?
You are a raid.
You are a raid.
Am I the deep stone?
Oh, fuck off!
Big.
Okay, so I am not the plane. I am not the pilot.
No.
Am I a location?
You are a location.
Am I an airport?
No.
No.
Do I have to remember something?
Yeah, but broadly.
Okay.
Like it's a location as in like it's a geographical location.
Okay, yeah.
region.
Am I a friendly character? Am I a story character that's not an enemy?
Yes.
Am I Mia the wife?
You are not
No.
Mia the wife.
Am I a type of enemy in the game?
You are not.
Can I see?
Yeah, one of you.
Oh, sorry. Let me show
Oh,
you.
wow.
Let me
Okay.
show you Steph.
What do you mean? Oh, wow.
Am I the mountains where we flew?
You are the Swiss Alps.
The
yes.
Swiss Alps.
There you
Cool.
go.
Thank you very much.
Am I?
Well done. Well done.
Am I Ethan Winters?
You are Ethan Winters.
Yay, well done.
When he gets one, you get it straight away.
I think I get it.
Next new one. And Gus's new one.
Sorry, there we go.
Cool.
Lovely.
Steph.
So I'm not a type of enemy.
No.
The previous one was a location.
Yep.
So I guess I'll ask again, am I a type of weapon?
I'm going to say no, but
That's all I need.
damn it, that could have been too much of a hint.
Am I the little yellow bee dick plane that I flew?
You are You are the
B-dick
you
plane.
are the B-dick plane.
I didn't look at my card. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Do you go again?
No,
Okay. Am I now an item from the game?
you are an item from the game.
Am I a useful item? Like I'm used to solve a thing?
No.
Well,
In a way, you're not used by the character. That the item is used by an antagonist.
I would say if you felt that you had too much of this thing, then you could, anyway.
I feel like you're giving him too much information.
All right.
Let's see what happens.
Am I a subclass?
You are not a subclass.
Oh, I thought I had that.
I know you were close. That's the right idea, though. You're in the right.
Okay.
Am
Is he on the
I...
last card?
No.
This is my fourth card.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just made it a bit more complicated.
Am I the joyous orgasm of a mouse?
You are not that.
Okay.
I'm just putting it up on screen so it's nice and clear.
But I will say, am I an orgasm? The
No.
sound of a plane orgasming.
Yeah, you're two mice having sex.
That's what it was. Yeah, great. Yeah.
So he
Fantastic.
Yeah, so Nick won, and now you've got your fifth card.
I am,
Which
means if he
to be clear, just put it in. This is Nick's next card.
Oh dear. Well,
I bet I know what it is.
what the fuck?
You know what the funny thing is? As soon as it was Microsoft,
I know.
I was like, number 4 is definitely going to be the having sex.
It's
I
all
just
the
couldn't remember.
tangent
Yeah.
straight
Oh
through.
my God.
Am I the fungus?
You're not the
No.
fungus.
It is the fungus.
It's not the fungus.
So I am
Yes.
not a weapon, and I'm not a subclass. Like I'm not stasis or void or anything.
No. But you are a remember Deepstone Crypt?
Mm-hmm.
It's connected to Deepstone Crypt, and it is a it's not a weapon, but it's a item that you need.
Am I like? It's not a weapon, but it's an item that you need. Am I like one of the roles from the raid?
You are one of the roles from the raid.
Okay. Am I?
Remember, you could ask a question that could potentially get you closer to jumping into the pool.
Yes,
with one
that's
of
a
three.
good point. That's a good point. Okay. Do I use this role in? Man, how do I frame the question to kind of narrow it down?
I'm just thinking about it myself. I don't know how I would frame it to isolate. You can't isolate one, really.
Yeah. Is it a role that involves?
Just take a stab.
Yeah.
It's 1 in 3.
Let's go fast rounds because then like.
Is it the suppressor?
Yes.
The suppressor.
Well done.
I bypass the suppressor.
Bypass. Oh, it's like a compressor.
It's a compressor.
I know.
All right, Nick.
Am I porn Gus thinking about sex?
You're not porn Gus thinking about sex.
Porn Gus referring, of course, to my moustache and my look.
Yeah. And also the fact that you were computing how sex
Yeah.
in that moment.
Yeah,
that you
that's
took.
the big thing.
I don't know. Me. Am I too much of that? I'm an item, but I'm not useful. Too much of it kind of might be bad. Am I?
Yeah, but we're talking about the game now, so...
Oh, right. Okay. Fuck. Am I to do with a jump scare?
Yeah, I'll allow that in the hope to see G4.
Am I the guy with the axe who busts through? Am I his axe? I don't know.
Oh, I
didn't
want to
find-
give it to him because he's just wrong about the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, is it a hammer or something? Or he's
You're just wrong
something
because
else.
it's
chainsaw.
No.
Oh, but it's the guy. Is it to do with the? That's gonna fall out. Is it to do with the guy?
Yeah, it's absolutely to do with that guy who attacks you with a tool that you would find in most sheds and
Yeah.
attacks you in a
can
very
I-
specific way.
only said, a shovel.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well,
Yeah, I try to remember. I didn't
Take it,
play
take it,
much.
take it.
yeah, that's why I figured that you had it. You just didn't know what
Yeah,
the thing
shovel.
is. Yeah.
Stephanie.
Too much of it is a bad thing.
So am I up to the like existential one now?
No, you're
No.
up to the final piece.
You are in the hone zone.
You're in the
I'm
you're in the hone zone.
Am I a weapon?
You are a weapon.
Yeah.
Am I Eyes of Tomorrow?
Yeah, you are. Yeah. Well, you got that one quickly this time, didn't you?
For those of you who aren't caught up on Steph's escapades, she is yet to get the eyes.
No, I got it.
got it.
Oh,
got
you
it.
did? Oh, you did get it. Okay,
I got it. I posted a
Here's
picture of
Steph's
it.
final
I don't
card.
follow anyone on social media.
Here's Steph's final card.
What is that? I nearly read it out loud. Okay, good. Great.
You're
Okay,
up.
if it's that esoteric, am I something to do with the three of us when we were playing the game?
I feel like he's on a wrong path because
No.
of how you've answered. But okay.
I will. Yeah, let's go a couple more rounds, and then I'll give you a strong clue.
Yep.
Because I want Gus to catch up as well.
I'm still on a part of the game, aren't I?
You're still in. Yeah, you're still
The fourth card.
buried in the
Fourth
game.
card.
Fourth card.
This is the home zone.
This is the home zone. Home
Am
zone
I
card.
to do with the jump scare again?
You're the same moment that the shovel becomes a very important thing in the game.
An iconic thing in the game.
This is important too.
Is it the shovel going through the head of the man?
No, the shovel does go through the head of the man, but it does also do something else.
And you will find out.
Okay.
In the next round. Stephanie.
Am I the pain and anguish of bad RNG?
No, but that's a nice thought.
But also,
and you are
that's what you are.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah. Keep that thought in mind because I'll give you a clue.
Okay.
You almost sounded like you're on your way there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick.
Am I something
almost.
to do with crashing when we're flying at night?
No, you're not something to
No.
do with
No.
crashing and flying at night. And for the next round, you've already basically hit the nail on the head with this one too early.
Yeah.
You hit it in card 4 when it was card 5.
Yeah. I don't know mine because I don't know. I don't think I got far enough in this game to know what else the shovel can do. He comes out, he smashes through a wall. I've seen that bit where he puts it through a guy's head.
Yeah.
I didn't even get to fighting him. Does he attack? Is it to do with him using the shovel on Ethan Winters?
Yes. The shovel on Ethan Winters, absolutely.
I don't think I saw that.
Oh, okay.
And let me give you a couple more hints. He does something that happens that you thought was an exciting moment in the new game. Something similar happens to Ethan.
So he chops...
Something similar happens to Ethan, but also think about one of the biggest in-joke memes of the
this
POC
show.
art segment in this show.
Does he cut your foot off with the shovel?
He cuts your foot with a shovel.
And what does he do? You then screw that foot back on.
Really?
Yeah.
That happened in 7?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Ethan Winters' severed leg.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know until I played Village, and then yeah.
You can use this to fix your leg. You can do it.
That prompt is on the screen.
what
Yeah,
it said?
and that's also what
also-
he says. He tosses you some medicine and is like, use that, it'll fix it or something. Yeah.
Okay, you're right.
You're
Final
up to card 5.
Final card.
And
All right.
your card 5 is...
You've got to get it in all of the teeth. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
There it is. There it is. Will had a lot of fun making that. when the idea hit Will's head, he was like, I know exactly what I need to do.
That's great. Okay.
All right. Steph.
I think we should give her a hint.
Yeah. So what you said last time, do you remember what you said last time?
I said, am I the pain and anguish of bad RNG?
What could be the exact opposite of pain and anguish?
The joy of getting the exotic?
Or, but something to like... what's a good hint? What's a good hint?
What you are describing is an affliction.
Yeah.
And there are other afflictions in this show. And
Yeah,
there you go.
That.
That's all you need to know.
The 2 words you started with when you started your previous answer, which were pain and anguish.
What would you do about that?
What would I do about pain and anguish?
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you
Like if
say?
you're in pain.
A doctor?
Or
A therapist?
a doctor might prescribe something. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Nick boy, a doctor might prescribe something.
In card 4, I talked about joyous orgasms.
You did.
So I'm guessing it's something to do with that.
It is the ecstasy of mouse orgasm.
Oh my God.
Which you practically
Oh
said.
my God.
when you
Look
say
at the
it.
card as well. It's a beauty.
Which when you said it and got it, I'm like, oh, now you're doomed to never get it.
Yeah.
yeah,
Gone past it.
You said that as
I said the joy is something of a mouth orgasm. Incredible.
As soon as when I put you on together, I'm like, this will either be impossible or you'll get it straight away. 'Cause once you're on that train, you're on that train.
Yeah.
So am I, therefore, me shitting myself playing a horror game?
No.
You're not usually, but that's a nice thought as well.
Yeah.
Okay, I really thought that's
You're nowhere in the right direction, but that was the right kind of
would have
direction.
been a fun card, wouldn't it?
It wouldn't have been fun. That little face of shitting yourself.
So,
The doctor has prescribed this specific
some sort
thing
of
for your
a
ailment.
painkiller?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, something that could potentially soothe whatever ails you.
Yeah.
It done soothes what ails you, it does.
But but you would need to be careful with it because you would not want to get a bunch of other things from it.
Yeah.
If you use
Side
By
effects.
applying.
Yeah, like a bunch of side
You wouldn't
effects.
want to get side effects from applying this
Yeah.
specific thing.
Oh,
You wouldn't want to get Dota fixed, Steph.
Am I? I
literally had the
Avexia?
little thing.
You are.
Avexia cream?
You are the soothing sensation of Avexia's cream.
Oh, he's working tonight. I'm sad that he won't. He'll catch up later.
Which leaves little on me to work out. Am I?
Stick.
I'll need a clue.
Yours more so than ours.
Very specifically
is like,
tied to the
you've
last clue.
Like this is, I would say, this is the culmination of the hone zone. Like you went.
This was the only one.
It's something to do with severed feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Still with the game.
Yep.
Is it like a scenario that never occurred that would have been funny? Like it's me.
Something
swimming
happens.
in a sea of severed feet.
No.
Something happens to people when they
are in that situation.
They're in that situation.
To normal people who can't like just glue their leg back on.
Yeah. And it is more a concept than it's not like a scenario that would have been in the game.
The concept of replacing a severed foot with something that's not.
So, well, it's less replace it. Like you can't replace it.
Yeah.
And so, how do you cope with that? And what happens?
You've heard of the frustration, like when someone loses an important limb.
Phantom limb.
Phantom limb.
Oh, Matt. It's phantom limb. It's the phantom limb of a severed foot as I shit myself.
That's a good
It is the unfortunate itch that you've gotten from your phantom limb.
Yeah.
There we go.
And you'll enjoy this card as well.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Please.
Oh, and that was the home zone, Peter.
It was
what?
Good.
It was
It was the sponsor package.
There is a party dimension beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension not vast, but very normal-sized, and as timeless as Gus shitting himself. It lies between the cock of the face and the testicle of the foot. This is the dimension of Pigawale. It is a game which we call the home zone.
Let's just put out some mad props to everything I've done in the past couple of weeks that I've needed a deeper voice. I've used a pitch modifier. Peter just goes lower.
I went to the home zone.
This is my insurance voice.
So, Will, did you have to do any pitch modulation on me?
Nope, just a bit of reverb.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Pass filter right now.
That was fun. That was good. That
I
worked
liked
well.
the hone zone. I think it worked.
I liked it.
Chat,
I liked
did
it
you
too.
like the hone zone? Let us know
let
if you
us
like
know.
the hone zone.
Let us
Put a
know.
poll up.
It was like, because we put it together, we were still working out how to make Celebrity Heads fun yesterday.
Pete, Will, and I sat on a call for like an hour going, how do we make Celebrity Heads more interesting?
Yeah. And I think Gus's was the closest to being actually the concept of the hone zone.
Yeah.
But the others are still funny.
So I didn't miss anything while I was away.
You did. You missed nothing. You missed nothing.
Cool. And hone zone was a success according to chat. That's
Delightful.
great. Excellent work.
They're the only people that matter.
Sorry?
They're the only people that matter. If you guys had a horrible time, chat enjoyed it, we'd do it again.
I would say that's every episode of the show that we do.
Snap.
And on that depressing note, we'll be back after this short break.
Oh, another downer on the way out to the ad.
I don't.
Hey, I'm Nick Nicrotex Richardson, and even though I claim to hate anime, I can't wait to tell you all about which barely pornographic video game I'm playing this week. But I can't do that alone. I'm joined by...
It's Bryce. I'm here wearing my new Valheim t-shirt. I streamed Destiny last night. Avexia killed me twice. And I'm just happy to be here with my friends. And next to me...
is James. And I'm really happy that I woke up with a recovered wrist from last night.
What?
Excuse me?
I was drawing, guys. What do you think I was doing?
Right, okay.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Go away.
My cousin got sick and the hospital bills are through the roof. It really got me thinking, if I ever got sick, what are we doing to protect our future and the future of our family?
That's an understandable fear. And I think we should do one simple thing, and that's contact the Learn Programming Academy.
Okay, I was thinking we would get life insurance.
Get your exclamation mark Tims out in the chat, because over 1 million people trust Tim from the Learn Programming Academy to deliver high quality, quick and affordable tutorials on how to code. And they're all videos, so you don't even need to know how to read. I know I can't.
But I'm worried about dying.
We all are. So why not live forever by coding a robot to transplant your old, disgusting organs for fresh new ones while you sleep? I'm sure it's possible.
I don't think it is.
Well, that's because you're stupid and you haven't contacted the Learn Programming Academy.
What the fuck did you just say to me?
The Learn Programming Academy. You'll give it a C++.
Woke up early to check on my son. As I'm walking into his room, I look down the hallway, pitch black. I cried and curled up into bed with Banjo.
I think that does it. Oh, there you go. You got it. Fuck.
This is way less scary.
Fuck you. I'm playing a horror game. Oh my god. And she's so little as well. Oh shit.
Oh, Dust Bunny, what's happening?
Focus on what you know you want. There it is. Look at the sugar. Look at the softness. Oh. Oh. And now it's all on my fingers because it's just so...
Wait. Which way did I come from? Oh, no. Wait, is it over there? No. Oh, don't tell me I'm lost. Oh, wait, no, I don't have time for...
Welcome back. And that was a wild adventure of an outbreak. A massive thank you to Coastal City, Nicrotex, and Lesser of Two Weevils for sending in.
Never in my life have I been more accurately captured by a person.
I know.
Bryce,
so summed up.
kindred spirit.
Lesser of Two Weevils.
Vexia killed me twice.
Lesser of Two Weevils nailing my faux pas masturbation pun without even in the same episode. So cheers to that.
Nicrotex putting me on fucking blast. Fuck you. I can play whatever I want. And whoever played Pete was spot on.
Oh man, amazing. Look surly, look grumpy,
So
all the
attractive.
things about an
Yeah, so
AM
very
I
attractive.
respect.
So fantastic. At this point, I do feel like Nicrotex is the fifth member of the back pocket.
Totally.
Screen time.
Yeah.
But we can't forget BMAC as well. Thank you very much for your flashback word of the day. Very exciting to see all these new word of the days flooding.
These are
we love them.
yeah.
We love
so
these.
good. We love them.
This
Love,
gave us
love, love
energy before the show ran. We were just like bouncing around being excited that they're in there. And now look at us.
And then
People saying Rip Will. About the fifth.
so I'm so sorry. No,
fine.
so Will, come here.
Rip Will.
Come here.
For what?
No.
He said Nicrotex is the fourth
Oh, you're fired. No. I did maths wrong. I thought in my head there were three of us here, and then I added you as the fourth. I just did maths wrong.
What it actually is Nick is above the rest of us.
I just did
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
into the four of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nick is the outsider.
I love that he knows
the
that
outsider.
and has the balls
I
to
didn't-
say that across his face.
While he's in the chat, I didn't actually. I knew what you meant.
I am the alpha and the omega.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. What are we talking about?
You were also referencing the teaser we saw there of your first play session of Resident Evil on the Game Club, which I enjoyed returning home to the land of reception and scrubbing through all the moments that I remembered from the game and seeing you experience them in all your awestruck and hilarious room utilization of how you deal with fear.
God, yeah. The thing that the thing that scared me the most was that my partner walked into the room, but she didn't walk in. She did that thing where she hovered, like there's a bookshelf next to my desk, and she like hovered there. So I'm just sitting there. I come off a
you
tense
didn't
moment,
see her
and then I
straight
just
away.
saw like something, and I look, and it fucking...
A bold door open would have been less scary. It would have been like, you're here now.
Totally, yeah. Whereas this is, she just appeared in the room.
Peter scares me at home all the time because I get so lost in my own thoughts. Like,
there's a man in the house.
You know what it's like inside my head. Like, I go deep there, and then I turn around, and he's like, "Hi," and I'm like, "Jesus."
So
he's like, "Who else did you think it was going to be?" And I'm like, "Just the fact that you're there at all is terrifying."
No, that happens all the time with Beck as well. Do you know what our solve is?
What?
I may have said this before.
I think so.
Oh, you click the
Put a bell on her.
The click.
Yeah, right.
I walk around the house and I do that.
Have you got to that bit in Resi yet, though? With the clicking?
No.
Oh, I don't think so.
No.
Oh, okay, right. And then also, of course, thank you to Tim, one of the
Silver puffy
founders
hands.
of the Back Pocket Top Stitched crew. So thank you for his continued support. We love you, Tim. Okay.
Violet Wind says Steph is like putting a cucumber behind a cat.
Yeah.
Have you seen those videos?
I have seen those videos. What is it about a cucumber?
I don't know. Shape and color, I guess.
I don't think it's anything
like a
specific. I just think it's a
instinctual
large
primal
object that they don't
snaky
expect
thing.
That
to be
took
there.
off. I reckon you could put anything behind them and that might freak them out.
Yeah.
Also, suggestions in the chat for Pete to wear a bell, wear a collar, maybe.
Yeah. Absolutely, I could do that.
That's your kink.
Ching-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
Ching-a-ling-a-ling. No, this was the thing we were all doing while you were away.
Classic in-jokes.
Yeah.
the big links. Oh, man.
Yeah.
It goes way back.
All three members of the Back Pocket team were having so much fun
Didn't we
doing that
laugh?
when you went here. All right, let's move on to the final segment for the evening, and we're slipping it in.
Pardon?
It's the Talkback.
Slipping it in.
I beg your pardon.
Sir?
I'll have you know.
Someone send Pete a shirt with nipple bells, and I'll wear it.
Yeah, do it. Absolutely do it.
Bells.
The Pardon is my favorite thing that happened on the show tonight because it was real. This is the Talkback brought to you by SlowPonk. Happy birthday, SlowPonk.
Hey!
Happy birthday, SlowPonk. So the Talkback, of course, is a segment where we take the questions from the Discord and we answer them here. We normally do this in the news, but we decided to do a little one in here.
I like it. I'm into it.
Yeah. Because all of us together. So let's all just enjoy this.
Damn right.
It starts off a little weird. Joshy20 says, "Hi, Back Pocket. Is it okay to sleep with a controller? Does the answer change if controller brand is PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo? Sincerely asking for a friend. PS not to be confused with friend." I don't know what that means. Oh, he means friend. Okay.
Sexy friend.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Is it okay to sleep with a controller?
I've fallen asleep many a times with
Holding
a controller.
Yep.
Holding a controller. The one most amusing of these anecdotes was a friend of mine from...
Most amusing.
Pardon? A friend of mine came to crash at mine, stayed in the
Large,
state,
please.
and I said, stay here. We went out with some friends, got really drunk, came home. We used to play video games at uni days. So we're like, let's just play video games now. We're really drunk. And we played the latest UFC game because we used to have that in the day. So we're playing UFC, but we both are drunk, and it's our first time playing it. And anyone who's played a UFC game knows they have very intricate dual analog stick controls to do with multiple forms of grappling and kicking and everything. It's really complex. So we're both drunk, just flailing around, both being terrible at the game, but we're laughing. It's like 3 a.m. We're like, oh, this is great. I can't win a match. My friend just keeps kicking my ass. Eventually, at one point, I turn around. He can't get a single blow in. I am beating the shit out of him. I am moving into like advanced grapple maneuvers. I am just instant KO. He's like, what's going on? He looks across. I'm just fast. The game had noticed I wasn't playing, and the AI had taken over. And he played almost like 2 full rounds against the AI while I am passed out, sleeping with a controller in my hands. And he looked across, but for that split second moment, he thought I was a god because I was beating him while I was
That's so good.
Cool, everything splayed out on the couch. So yeah, there you go. That's the time I slept with one.
I think it's fine in moderation.
Yep.
There was a period of time when it was actually when I first started working on Good Game that I just moved back home with my parents. And so I didn't have like access to the TV with consoles and stuff like that. I had everything in my bedroom. And so I had like my consoles and everything plugged into a monitor on my desk where my like PC was. And then I had like my bed kind of next to that. And so I was like playing games from my bed like at night. It was like super cozy. And then I would kind of play till like 2 a.m. and then fall asleep. and then I would wake up and the controller was like still in my hand, and then I'd be like. Like,
second win.
I have a problem.
And it was kind of wonderful and indulgent, but it got to a point where I was like, I cannot live like this. Like, it was just like, it was cool for a bit where I was just like, wow, like game, sleep, repeat, like in the same spot forever is kind of fun.
And then go to work and game.
Yeah, and then I'd bring food to my bed, you know. It was just like this gross nest where I lived by myself.
Yeah.
My mom would come in and be like, how's the new job going? I'm like, great, Mom.
I feel like it's a fun thing to indulge in, and then you very quickly realize
it's untenable.
It's just not a thing that you want to do consistently. Because it is fun. Like, you know, I remember like I had like very fond memories of doing like Lord of the Rings marathons that are like you're just struggling to stay awake, or like Halo marathons and just play through all the Halos or whatever. And it's like you just destroy yourself for the next day.
Yeah.
But it was like, it was worth it for that one weekend that you can go like, remember when we did that thing where we
tried to stay up all night playing?
Yeah.
Passing out on the Duke, it used to be big enough to be a pillow. So it was like, it's all good.
Oh, that was lovely.
Yeah.
I would definitely sleep with a DualSense because of the haptics. The next question comes in from Harlow, who says,
Can I also say, you've now managed to make that question sexual and sexy in a great way.
Jay made it sexy.
Yeah.
No, I know. But also how
you guys all moved away from it.
How you managed to make a playback, the ad for the game club, like a horror game, sexy by the end of it. It's just you licking fingers. I'm like, only you could do that. I admire that.
I think that you find me attractive. And that's why you think everything I do is sexy.
I do also like that someone pointed out in the chat that whole UFC story was like, we are on our way to a Gus story. Yeah. Turned into a Kraken.
Totally.
Didn't end up being,
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, I missed your name, but so many points for me to fuck that story up.
Harlow asks, what's the worst / most embarrassing haircut or style you've ever had? They say, I cut mine super short for uni graduation and it was instant regret. My usual ringlets turned into a small afro.
Ooh, yeah.
I thought out of all of us, you would have the most hair variation.
Will you be wrong?
I think my most embarrassing hair period was when I went through a phase where it was black and then I decided I wanted it to be like silver blonde. So I bleached it like 8 times and then it proceeded to all just fall out.
Because bleaching is essentially killing your hair, right?
Yeah. And like it's bad enough to bleach natural hair a lot, but when you have to bleach color out and then continue bleaching it, it's just, it turns to like straw. And so every time I brushed it, you could see like, it would just like, was like snow would just fall every time.
Did it also help that it was silver grey, so it kind of felt like the scene from Indiana Jones. Like, it's coming out.
And it was like, and then I tried to put hair extensions in it, but my hair was getting so short at the back, you could see where the hair extensions were. So I had this, like really short bits of hair and all around my hairline, it was like a really short, and then I would have these like scraggly hair extensions, and you never saw this on the show because it was like you could always see me from the front, but the back was a mess. And in the end I just like
it's like Steven as well though.
I took the hair extensions out and then dyed it like black because I was, again, I'll never learn. And then it was just like really dry and I had this weird kind of asymmetrical half fringe. I'll find a photo and I'll show you like in the Discord later. You'll know what I mean.
I'm sure
and
they could find it off the old YouTube channel.
Yeah. It was very odd. And because it wasn't a haircut, it was literally that's how my hair looked after it had just broken off in that way. And I remember distinctly, like I wasn't that worried about it at the time. I was like, I think it looks kind of funky. And then like it was at a time when people were just like, I don't know, trying to suss me out and writing mean things about me on the internet. And somebody linked me to a forum. I think it was like an LGBTQ forum where like it was like a forum for like lesbians to like try and figure out people in the industry who were gay. And they were like, hey, just found out Hex is gay. She's one of us. I saw her at a pub the other night and she was like close with a friend. Here's a picture of them. And also her hair looks really dry and gross. And I was like,
what? So that's a diss on you and on lesbians.
Yeah, I know.
Why do lesbians have dry, gross hair?
So I remember that being like a sore point for me.
That's
Nick, I feel like you're the second person here. That
I'm trying to see if
I
I have any pictures on here.
Peter? I was just going to say, while you're looking up a picture, I didn't know you during the darkest hair days.
Oh, yeah.
But in, I think it was 2017, you had like this really awful uneven haircut. as the result of someone cutting your hair.
Right.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Like crow, no.
Go fuck yourself.
My short version.
Go fuck yourself. Yep.
My hair goes lighter in summer. 1 year, I was like, still at school, year 11, I was like,
Lemon juice?
Frosted your tips?
I wanted my hair to be that lighter color. Lemon juice would have been the right idea.
Sun in.
Sun in!
I went to a hairdresser. I was like, hey, I was like maybe 16, 17 at the time. I was like, can you make my hair go the color it goes at summer, which is much lighter blonde? And the person in there was like, yep, got it sorted. So sat me down. I had the $40 to go and get a haircut that I usually have. Get change out of that, go buy a Slurpee. Sit down, starts putting the like stuff in the foils. I'm like, didn't have like the nerve to say stop. I was like, it's happening. And they were coloring my hair. They were not frosting my tips, they were frosting my whole hair.
You were going Justin Timberlake.
Complete dyed blonde.
The noodle hairdo.
Thing comes down. I just sit there like sweating bullets. Like, I didn't want this. Comes off. Foils come off. I am like bright boy band blonde.
Oh, God.
I hated every part. I had really thick, dark eyebrows. Like, they're big, but like, you can imagine these with blonde hair. I was like, oh my God. And the guy's like, that's $120. I'm like, I was like, I don't know what to do. I was like, I called my grandma. I was too embarrassed to call my parents and be like, I need this money. I called my grandma, and who was just a lovely soul. And she's like, I'll come around, darling. She pops around, sees me. She's like, oh. And then gets like $100 out of her purse and gives it to me to pay for the haircut. I paid it back to her. I went and did chores and all that kind of stuff. She didn't ask me to, but I did. And I hated it. I did everything wrong from there. I tried to dye it brown using a dye kit from
did it go green?
Red. Like nothing gets red hair. I went like unnatural rust hair.
Yeah.
And then I think that was the year that my face went, hey, have you heard of this thing called acne? Because I'm going to give you all of that too. And I was just like, you know what? Whatever this year was, it's a write-off.
So you were Carrot Top for 6 months.
Oh, I was Carrot Top. It was just a mess. So, yeah, funny. Yeah, but thanks,
I went
thanks,
through a phase in university where I bought like the $20 clippers from Priceline.
Yep.
And I would just shave my head to save money.
Oh, man.
So it was like...
Yep.
They were the worst clippers in the world. They would pull more hair than they cut. But like I would just do the old shave, and I look pretty bad with a crew cut. I look like
I'm scared of the shape of my head.
Meathead.
You've at least seen the shape of your head shaved.
Yeah.
Also, like you had some amazing photos of you with like the full.
I had like John Lennon hair at school.
And you look great.
I had hair like down to my shoulders. Yeah.
That photo of you wearing a dress with lipstick and your hair everywhere.
That was a wig. That was a wig, but
that was a wig.
That was a wig, but my hair was that long at one point.
Nick, put us out of our pain. What?
That's so funny that you thought that it would cost less than $40 to dye your hair.
I honestly said, like, I was like asking them, is there an option just to go like, oh yeah, we can just quickly spray some stuff in, or we can like do a quick something. I know, and they're like, it's nothing.
Just do a quick something.
Yeah, it was nothing or coloured, or like coloured foils and everything. And I was like, dude, this, yeah. And then once they started, I didn't know.
It reminds me of once when I was trying to get a taxi home and I didn't realise how much the taxi was going to cost. And it was like, I was watching the meter go up and it was getting close to exactly how much money I have. And I was like, can you just stop? And he was like, what? And I was like, can you just pull over here? And he was like, didn't you say you were going to this suburb? And I was like, but this is fine. And he's like, is this all the money you have? And I was like, yeah. And it was like, 11 o'clock at night. He's like, I'll just drive you home. And I was like, thank you, sir.
I should have done that to the hairdresser. This is all the money I have. I don't think a catty hairdresser would have been sympathetic. I'll shave it off for you.
I can't find the pictures that I was looking for, which was, oh, wow.
There's a photo for them.
That's
give
nice.
Give it to Nick.
Yeah, that's nice.
But it's just it's messy, yeah.
I hate that zoom in. Look at that. Hold it forward.
It goes out of focus if I hold it.
I mean, that's what you looked like on your license.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
It was good.
So the one that I can't find the one that I was looking for. There was a period where like I just dyed my hair all the time, and I had it sort of like short-ish, like shorter than I have it now. And I thought, oh, you know what would be cool if I just like dyed it different colors. And so I got like orange, red, purple, and maybe blue, something else.
What, all at once?
Yeah, and I did it myself and just dyed patches of it. And so I looked like some weird, like, cheetah that had kind of...
You were...
You were a pride cheetah.
Yeah, but like, whatever you're thinking...
Did not
imagine it much muddier than that.
dulled out, washed together.
Like motley is how I would describe. I look like a hyena.
Melted M&Ms where there's a lot of brown. pushing through.
Totally.
Yes, when you get the mini M&M McFlurry and you you get to the bottom
Give
of
it
it,
a
and it's like,
stir.
oh, there's just a pool of brown down here.
But the other one that I mean, I do have a picture, and it's not that wild, but you know when you go like. You have a hairstyle and then you do something like significant and it's only like 5 years later that you're like, oh, wow. I had that hair at that time and now that time will always be so basically my first massive overseas trip went to Europe.
All your
and
photos
so all my photos over there are like me with this hair.
Yeah.
And I grew my hair out like really out and I used to dye it black, which is just like such a mistake.
Emo.
So very emo. But such a mistake because it completely like washed me out.
Yeah,
and it was always like a home dye job. My hair was really dry as well. And so it's like that's what I looked like.
Oh, wow.
Is that actually real or that's a wig?
No, that's real. That's my hair.
Oh, my.
And that was it.
Because you can
and
also-
I grew it, and I grew it about like another couple of inches.
Because
You're like Gerard Way.
You can buy
Yeah.
you can buy hair dye that is a natural black, and then you can also buy like a blue black where it's black like like no one has this color hair.
Yeah.
It's
You
like
haven't
black
aged a day.
with a slight kind of hint of blue to it, and it's like
I know that color,
so
yeah.
unnatural.
That's
what I would love.
That is funny, Pete. There are pictures where I just go like, oh yeah, like I could pass for 25, like, or maybe I just looked really old back then.
There was like, you definitely had an awkward period because we've seen photos of you.
Oh yeah.
Like in like the mid noughties, I guess.
Yeah.
When you first started working in television.
Yeah. Yeah, like basically before I started growing like stubble.
Yeah.
And before I really understood like what worked for the kind of face that I had, I have had so many looks, but yeah, that was like a massive mistake of just like wreck your hair.
I thought you were gonna leave like you a massive mistake. At that.
Last point on that. Do you find like you'll always have some form of facial hair, not cause of, but like helps the eyebrows? Because big eyebrows and like baby face, always a little like
definitely like it's so much eyebrow that like when I do that, it's like oh god,
Get top heavy.
just focus.
But do you
on
think
my
that the
eyebrows.
time that we're in now, because like every time I think about the fact that like everyone has beards now, I think about the 70s and when like mustaches and big like chops were in, and we
Glasses
look back
like
on
this.
that now and we're like, that's like a really funny to think that was like the fashionable thing of that time.
Totally.
And like in like 15 years, are you guys going to look back on this and be like, remember when we all had beards? That was crazy.
Potentially, like the 80s didn't really have beards
They had
as
a lot of
much.
clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we might. I think that, but to your point, like, I think there's like a fashion thing, and then there's just like what makes your face look normal.
Yeah.
And my face, I don't think my face looks normal unless I have some sort of facial hair. I just go like, oh, that's not like what. I'm too heavy. Like
I spend a lot of time with big bushy brown hair and big bushy eyebrows and like a baby face because I couldn't grow facial hair. And then when I grew facial hair, unanimously everyone was like, this works. And I was like, cool. And I liked it too. It wasn't because of other people's opinions. I was like, this felt a lot more natural and balanced out. So yeah, I don't know if it's as much a fad as something. I'm like, this suits what I'm going for kind of thing.
Yeah.
Good question. Meaty question.
So before games discussion in this episode, we're like, so hair. Like, any?
Well, let's end on a game discussion. Mass Effect, a game that we can talk about in an hour if we get there. Flaywood wants to know what type of shepherd will you play when you get your hands on Mass Effect Legendary, and who will be in your Mass. And then Phoenix Alliance says who will be in your Mass Effect teams this time around.
It's hard for me to. It's hard for me to play differently to the first time I played because the first time I played is like my instinct and what I enjoy. And so I find it very difficult to go against that for the sake of like, let's see what happens this time. I imagine I'll probably do it exactly the same and I'll play the same kind of cool shepherd with dark hair and I'll have Edie and Liara in my team.
Good.
I feel like I always want to do something bold when I play those games for the first time, kind of similar playing like Knights of the Old Republic. And I tend to just push towards the Paragon side.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Good side.
And just do the right things not because, well, I don't know. I feel like they lead to the part of the story that the writers always think are going to be played a little bit more. So I did that when I played through it the first time. I feel like having the chance to do it again means that I will be able to flex that evil muscle now and be like, I'm going to be renegade.
The thing, there is no evil.
Sorry, not renegade, but just,
which is the thing that I really liked about Mass Effect.
It's more that you're antagonistic.
Yeah, or that you're solving problems more aggressively and a bit more assertively.
Yeah, from like a role-playing perspective, I really enjoy... I've played through both. I've played through all the games doing different things, different times.
Just all over the place.
I've played it a million times. I thought that my main game was FemShep because I've played so much FemShep, but I totally played through the entire game with a character that I made in Mass Effect 1 that I dragged through that was just a dude.
Yeah.
And then I played them all again multiple times.
I do appreciate and share the sentiment that it's FemShep and just a dude. And Shep. It's like FemShep is fucking awesome, and then the other one.
The voice actor was so much better for FemShep.
Totally.
She's awesome.
But yeah, when you play, like, to me, Renegade is always like, I'm a Spectre. Like, you know, like I'm bigger than everything else is the attitude of that, which I thought was really cool. Where Paragon was like,
yeah, I know, and
the reporter,
so that's totally how I see it as well, which I really like. That it wasn't like, even though I really liked what was the Star Wars MMO, the Old Republic?
No, the Republic.
Which no,
the MMO is the Old Republic.
Yeah, that when you made negative. When you made like bad decisions, like your character slowly morphed into
That's
Sith.
right, yeah.
And that was like, you are choosing genuine like bad things. Whereas, I agree with Pete that like, I like the fact that, so the first time I played through it, I definitely played as Paragon. I played like so super good, like total Boy Scout style thing.
Yep.
And with this playthrough, I am 100% going to be going more along the lines of like, shut the fuck up. Like, this is I don't have time to make your feelings be good because there is a genuine galactic nightmare going on right now.
This
and I
isn't
don't
my
need to be nice to
But you can put yourself in really like terrible situations like that. Like I feel like there was one choice that I made where I feel like I rushed through something, or I said something kind of, I don't know, if I was kind of brazen about something, and it was like I ended up, I think, wiping out the entire Korean race as a result.
That's one of the big decisions where it's like, do you neuter the race?
Yeah,
And
but you
I
also
did not
only
mean to
have
do that.
you also only have all options if you've done all the side mission stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah, right.
it's typically that you just didn't do the things in the right order leading up to this point, and you're at a point where you can't.
But
make
I do
it.
appreciate
You either wipe out the Quarians or the Geth at that point.
That's
was
right,
the
yeah.
Because it felt like that LA Noire thing of me trying to solve a problem and then it just being the most extreme possible reaction.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, no! That's
genocide.
But I guess when I say when I'm going more Renegade, I think it's more than there are definitely times where it'll be like, no, I'll take the middle option, or I'll take the Paragon thing.
Yeah.
But my first playthrough, I just went Paragon. I was just
same.
like, no, I want to be good. So
Yeah,
no matter what, it was like, I will do the good option.
Yeah.
Whereas this, I'm like, no, I'm willing to do the other things because I think that it makes for a more interestingly rounded character.
Yeah, I was also wrong in, I think, my assumption that the game is probably written more heavily in terms of, or like with more care taken towards the good choices, because that's what I've been trained to do from other video games. I'm not a good person. That's just what video games are like. They'll often be like, there's a bad thing you can do here, but the majority of people are going to take the right choice, therefore the game will be more fleshed out in that direction. Mass Effect is one of those games that not only as a series, but through 1, 2, and 3, progressively got better at telling a story where it's like, it's not dark side, light side, it's attitude and how people respond to you, and there's a whole cavalcade of ways that happens.
I think I'm always just, every game that I play, I'm too caught up in wanting everyone to like me.
Yeah, and I think you can probably still have that by going a little more Renegade, because
If you get characters that respect you, if you're like more like forceful or something like that.
No, you go.
I was just going to mention the party build as well, and I've forgotten. I mean, Garrus is awesome, and everyone will have him.
He was like tech.
No, I like my awesome girl gang.
So this is the same thing. I'm not ashamed to admit that, is it Talia, the one with the purple
Yes.
eyes?
Yep.
Yeah, she's in my party and I'm in love with her. Like, and I was in that game, and like she was as a love interest as a character, and who was just so interesting in her background and everything like that. I was just like smitten with that character. And she's coming on board this time as well.
And I'll tell you mine in a second.
Just don't kill all of her people.
Yeah,
You should be okay. I would say probably.
First date woes.
The only thing I don't like about the Mass Effect dialogue
Garrus?
thing, because Garrus, yeah.
Did I get it right?
Yeah, you got it
Yeah.
right, Garrus.
Just like reinforcing.
People are just
the
saying
awesome-
they like Garrus.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Celebration. Celebration.
I saw
of
a
Garrus.
question mark. I was like, I said it wrong.
The dialogue thing, encouraging you to pick like the the option that draws you to it most, but then punishing you by going, there are Paragon points and Renegade points, and it's like, you, depending on how many times you've like answered that and how many points you've built up, then that's like, you get to unlock things with that, which I don't like. The conversation system was like there were so many shades of grey there that I was like, oh, I feel like I should be allowed to play in the shades of grey as opposed to be like locked out of things because I didn't get enough points because I didn't answer enough things nicely.
Well, I think I'm pretty sure in the first game, and it changed a little bit of it, but it was like you put points into your skill tree. So it's like it would only appear if you had. It wasn't because you used Paragon all the time. It would never unlock more Paragon
points and Renegade points. That's still a thing. I'm so sure that was still a thing.
But I thought it was in Charm and it was like Charm and Taunt and
there was Charm and
which you had to build a skill tree up. Like,
yeah, but
that's
then
how you unlock
it. unlocks more after that. I think. Yeah, I could be wrong. But yeah. And then my party. I agree. Garrus is in my party. My party is the best threesome. It's me, Garrus, and someone that no one has mentioned, Jack. Do you remember Jack?
Yeah, engineer.
Jack's the engineer. Cool tattoo chick. She's a murderer. I'm into that too. Yeah.
It's Nick shaved.
It's me with no hair.
Shaved.
Jack fucking rocks. Jack and Garrus and me is like a force going out there that I feel like also like pivots towards Renegade as well.
Yeah,
it's like,
true.
We're gonna get out there. We're the wet team that you said.
Yeah, totally. Although I remember in 2 heaps.
Yeah, rough puff.
Who is the Geth character that you bring with you? Is Geth right?
Yeah, you do.
And just completely confused cyborg name. I liked that character. I took them around with me ever.
Legion.
Was it Legion? Yeah. Legion was great. Legion. Fucking love Legion.
And
so Legion,
not
Talia,
Rex.
and Garrus.
I have played through the game with everyone as a partner, I think, but just I base it on whatever role I play, and then I just build out around it. So if I'm playing a soldier, I'll have probably Garrus and Liara in Mass Effect 1. Obviously, there are more options.
That's such a lame way. You should just choose based on personality.
Yeah, but you play all the side missions with everyone. You take them on specific missions.
I know what you mean.
Based on fleshing out the entire skill set.
That is a Pete answer.
I know.
Respect the fact that the man
in Max, you got him in Max.
The man selected Lego in his.
They're always great games.
I fill out my party with whoever I have the biggest crushes on.
Yeah.
And then we save the galaxy together.
Uncanny X-Men. No love for Morden. Fuck Morden.
What was the name? Morden was
boring.
Yeah, he was just
I did like Rex. Rex was cool.
Rex was cool, and the
Rex is awesome.
I appreciate
Liara, Talia, Garrus, Ashley, Rex, Caden. I made something I will do differently this time.
You saved Ashley.
What a love
instead
for
of Caden.
Morden in the chat.
I saved Caden, not Ashley.
Oh right. You did the right thing.
Did I?
Ashley sucks.
Why?
She's just a lame character.
Oh, I thought Caden sucks.
No, Caden's
I made the right decision?
Yeah.
Okay, right.
2 of them.
Oh,
Caden
right. Okay. Kasumi, Grunt, Thane, Jack, Miranda.
So Thane was only 3, right?
Mass Effect 2 as well.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
2.
Morden.
Miranda, was that Yvonne Strahovski?
Yes. Yeah. That's right.
So many shots of her butt.
Miranda they've lessened the amount of shots of this game.
She was annoying.
Everyone's just looking at their phone at photos of the characters from the game.
Totally.
I have to double check.
Jacob, Samara. Oh my God, so many characters. So many great characters.
I'm looking forward to reintroducing myself to half of these people that I can't remember. Morden can fuck off.
But yeah, I'm glad that I saw a little Jack love in the chat there. Jack's cool.
Nice.
Jack's cool. Cool. That is. Will, what about you? Are you playing it? You never played it, did you? No. Are you going to?
I'm in the dark, but yes, I am. I'm keen to play it for the first time. I'm in the dark.
Even in the dark?
Even in the dark.
You look good in that camera.
Just to answer that question earlier, remember to always keep a controller underneath your desk if you're going to sleep with it. I keep seeing the original in Game Pass, and I've gone past it 100 times and gone, I should really play it. But I'm keen to be able to play it in its best form now. I'm excited to dive in in full 4K.
That's the wrong game, mate.
Nice.
Look at Jack. Look at that.
Yeah, Jack's great.
She's so cool.
Jack's got a lot going on.
She does have a lot going on.
Just basically the character design was like a Kevin in Textures cousin.
Kevin in Textures was funneling textures to his cousin.
Yeah, Barry in character models.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, I went nuts with one character. What do you reckon?
That's so funny. Someone in chat said that there are 36 characters in Mass Effect Squad that you can put together. We got time for one more. Contrast says, what is the best flavored jelly bean and why is it licorice?
Oh, that's disgusting.
That's horrible.
That is awful.
I agree.
My favorite jelly bean, I like a combination of lemon and lime. So I always go green and yellow. Pop them together, cocktail in your mouth.
What kind of jelly bean are we talking about?
Let's not blow this whole thing open. Are we talking chemist jelly beans? Are we talking jelly belly?
What are they even called? They're called like glucose.
Glucose tablet in.
It's like
what I'm thinking because
grandma needs some sugar.
Yeah, totally.
That's what they should be.
I think we're all because are we not talking about the elephant in the room, which is jelly beans suck? Like actual OG jelly beans are a bad thing to eat.
The ones from the chemist are great.
They're awful. Jelly bellies are cool, but the actual jelly beans, I hate the texture.
Yeah.
I hate the flavor.
I'll take normal jelly beans
like
over
medicine.
fucking jelly bellies.
And if I did, I'd have like a red one. I think
red are great, blue are great, white are great. Throw the rest in the bin.
White's the best one. If I had to eat one, white is the best one.
White's my pick for sure.
And also,
green and yellow are good. Those
vote?
ones from the chemist, my mom was diabetic. They were meant for diabetic.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
They served a purpose. They were there not to just. But then they went down to the mini packs and were
but then what
the kids who were bored at the chemist being like,
because then what are the summer rolls doing there and the honey logs?
I'll hear
and
nothing
the
bad
mint
about a honey log.
patties?
Although I will vote that if the next T-shirt design can be Peter saying "Grandma needs some sugar,"
it should be the picture of him. That he just showed us as an old woman.
Grandma needs some sugar.
It's
in the Discord.
I love it.
In the Discord.
There's a whole series of photos of me from that evening.
Good.
It's the talkback. This is.
We'll do one more. We'll do one more because we'll close
jelly
back.
beans were
because I almost went. This one is actually best answered with all of us. Pat is melting wrote in and said, "What is on the blooper reel when the credits roll on your life?"
Peter.
Nothing. I've lived a humorless life.
You've lived a perfect life.
Sure.
Just humorless.
Never a problem.
Yeah.
Mine will definitely involve the time that I wet the bed with my partner.
Yeah.
That's good. 100% is going to be.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh no, I've got some good ones.
That photo you showed me and Will earlier in the week, that'll be on.
Oh yeah. But is that a blooper? That was published.
I think the blooper will be the scenario around how much fun that was to put together. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of dumb stuff that I did when I was a teenager will be in that for real.
I feel like the problem Gus is having right now is he's going, the film of my life would be 2 minutes long and the bloopers would be 65 years. Is that what you're thinking, buddy?
I have one. I have one-ish.
Yep.
It's kind of a good one.
Yeah.
It's relevant.
I'm not sure if mine's post-show or this, but...
Mine's not censored, or like, what do we say? Like post-show is usually, we save things for the rude stuff, the sexy stuff, all that kind of stuff. But I have a relevant one. It's a new one, and you'll see it in the post-show.
Oh, goodness.
How do you get in that post-show, Nick?
You get into that post show by going to backpocket.gg. Thanks to Simon, and you can go there and access the Patreon and become a patron at the $10 tier or more. No, the $5 tier or more. Will, do you have one?
I do. Mine's definitely safe for this section.
I don't think you've ever done something that's post show.
I was going to say, I'm the clean boy.
Yeah.
Clean under the desk, boy.
For my final end of year 12 thing, one class where we never learned anything was history. And so for the final class that, before the HSC that you should be studying, we had a karaoke party. And everyone had to dress in like something historical or something and I've got Greek heritage and I had my grandfather's fustanella. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's basically like a dress and everything going on.
Is that like white?
All
top,
white,
green, or like white,
a blue kind of vest with a red hat. And
not a funny hat. I shouldn't. That's true, but it's
not haha funny.
Yeah, not one that you
cultural.
Have you worn it yet in your hat montage?
No, I haven't, but I should. I should find it. And I should wear it. But I wore it for this. I will say, as someone who hadn't worn a dress until this point, Pete, you might be able to help here. Also, having worn a dress in your outfit. It's very
many times.
Yeah, it's very breezy, and I was surprised by
Phenomenal.
that. Yeah. It's like, why don't we do this more often?
Go to Fiji and they're all wearing, all the men are wearing Sulus.
I've got a
It's
kilt.
just like, God damn, this is such a, think about how sweaty your dick is right now because it's just encased in
That's all I can think about.
layers of fabric.
Someone
It's
turned the
ridiculous.
aircon off.
Ridiculous. Also, the post show is $10. The $10 tier.
Also, to hear more about sweaty dicks. That's
Yeah,
$10.
but like you've already
if you
heard
want-
most of it today.
If you want more. But sorry, we'll continue.
To continue the cleanliness, part of one of the songs someone suggested, and it's not really cleanly, is it Come On Eileen? And so we're all kind of dancing and jumping up and down, and it was really exciting. I also, being me, had a camera set up at the back of the room to film everyone and make a fun montage. I'm jumping up and down, and the Fustanilla dress just drops completely. And so I yank it back up and just run out of the class. But because because I'm Will, I was on the outside of the friend circle, they were all dancing together. They didn't see me. So in the video, you just see me lose pants, complete undies, and then just bolt whilst everyone continues dancing to Come On Eileen.
And where can we watch this?
And I'll bring it next week.
Good. Fantastic.
Good song for it too.
Okay, and it worked. Axios_37 said, Lasai, it's about time, BRB subbing. Nice. So there you go. Thank you very much.
See you in the post show.
See you in the post show. A reminder, the post show is going to feature a story from Gus's trip, story from the blooper reel that is Pete's life.
Yep.
Steph's noodling on something, or you were just like...
Oh, no, I have a story I can tell. I've told it before on a different thing, but I can tell it.
Yeah, okay. And then also, if we hit 10 o'clock, then we can talk about a little bit of Mass Effect. So
Hey,
that works
nice.
out. That brings us to the end of the main show. This was a fun one. This was
good.
great. Yeah. The
Good
home
energy.
zone worked
High
out.
energy.
High energy show.
Holiday
Yeah.
Gus energy.
Are you taking credit for this? Yeah. It was lovely to have you back. It was quite strange not having you here during the week for the audience, except for the news. Like they didn't really notice. But like for me, Pete, and Will, in terms of like the fact that we are basically the only people that we talk to all day. Yeah. Not having you there was
I appreciate you both putting up with my attempts to find spots of reception and interject with, is there anything I can do? And you're both like, fuck off. And then I instantly felt like, oh my God, what am I doing? I can't do it.
So I will say it's not a post-show story. I'll just tell the story here.
Sure.
We did the job on Monday that meant that we couldn't do the news on Monday morning. Gus was away. He called me the night before and said, hey, from like your dad's phone, because it had better reception.
It had reception.
And I didn't recognize the number.
Vodafone.
I finally figured out it wasn't an Uber driver delivering my food. And it was like, he's like, hi, it's Gus. I'm like, just leave it at the front door. I'm putting my kid down. I'm sorry. And then he's like, so you've got the thing tomorrow. I can wake up at 7 and I'll have pretty good reception here in Cooper Pedy as long as I sit in this specific.
Oh, no, I was in a
position or
cave
whatever.
that had NBN speed internet.
Oh,
and I was
right,
like,
okay.
holy shit. I can actually I can join the work and do everything from a cave. Like I was in a hotel room dug, like 50 feet into a mountainside. And I was like,
so
oh, cool.
he's going
but I
like-
realized as I called you, I'm like, I'm no fucking use.
And it's like, so I can just like remote access the computer and like and like fix anything up that you need and like help out and stuff. So and I'm like, it's fine. Thank you very much. That's very sweet. Enjoy your holiday back. And then I tell the story the next day and here in the office, and Will's just sitting there shaking his head, and he's just like, what am I even here for? Like all the things that you're offering to do is Will just sitting there. There you go.
They look good. Better than how Pete wears them.
They do look good on you.
They do.
They do.
It's the camera. Don't.
No, it is.
No, look at that.
I'm
Look at
into
the
it.
eyes.
I love it.
You can say it to me all I want. I can't see what it is.
You now look like a
nice.
kind of eccentric artist, like who has created avant-garde works that we kind of ponder over.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Shout out to Dust.
Dust Bunny.
Should we get some
6 subs gifted from
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much,
very
Dust
much.
Bunny. My goodness,
Dust Bunny, thank you so much.
Oh my
That's awesome.
goodness, thank
Been
you.
on my life. I'm quiet.
I was
Just subs. Delightful.
She moved in with her boyfriend. That's what she said in the chat.
Comes back and just subs.
I think we should get Will some glasses with clear frames.
Yeah, let's do it.
Clear lenses. They look so good on you. You look dapper,
good, man.
You look fucking good.
And at least you have you're safe in the knowledge that when you do actually need to wear glasses when you get older, then they do look
You
good
won't
on
look
you.
shit
Unlike
house.
unlike poor Peter,
I'll look
who
fucking
has been,
terrible.
He's been
Cursed.
told he looks
So
terrible.
clear frames will be out of fashion by that point. And I look great in pedo glasses. See?
They're my 70s glasses.
It's what it is. It's all like I know what you're saying. It's the way you put them on.
Yeah.
You put them on like
Because
this is how
glasses
people who
are
have
for
glasses
old or
put them on.
blind
You
people.
put them on like this, and then you put them on like this. You go.
Yeah, because I'm literally making myself blind by putting these things on my face.
Like Sonny's.
Oh, God. I put them here.
Yep.
I put them here on my head, and then I put them in the little thing in my car that lets me. And then I never wear them.
All right, that is it for Back Pocket for today. Thank you very much, everyone, for hanging out and watching. It's been a delight. We have we do not have a live stream tomorrow because we have another job on, but we will be back on Monday with the news, and then we'll do some more Game Club live streams next week. So we look forward to seeing you guys there. I can finish off Resident Evil Village. If you want to get all the things Back Pocket related, whether it's the Twitch channel that you're watching right now, the YouTube channel, the podcast links for the show, because the audio is a great way to be able to consume that stuff, the merch store, our socials, whatever you want, backpocket.gg. Thank you very much to Melodic Storm, to Simon for helping me fix that over the week. Have I missed anything?
Thank you to the mods, and thank you everyone again for your amazing Word of the Day commercial things. They're so funny. We loved them so much.
We can keep this roll going.
I hope so.
I'm like, if we can keep them going, like new ones coming in every week.
Yes,
from
they're so good. We love them.
The plan is to actually do like what Rhys was suggesting, which is like we just run 2.5 hours of ads.
Yeah.
Fun ads, and then we don't need to do anything.
And that next
Though I do.
Oh, that next ad. We got to make it, but that next ad.
Next fucking
and the
ad.
person who that ad is for is going to froth.
Oh, yeah.
Vexia killed me twice, and I'm just happy to be here with my friends.
That you've said that. You say that every morning.
So funny.
We wake up and there's animals on the bed and me and she goes,
so
I'm just happy to be here with my friends.
She's a crazy lady.
Send me the shirt with the bells on the nipples and I'll wear it.
Do it.
There you go.
And not just on the show, wear it around the house. All right. If you subscribe to the post show, which is the 3rd tier or higher, then we will see you in a minute at the post show. If you don't subscribe, what are you waiting for? Go there, subscribe right now, because this show continues. We just talk for like another 40 minutes on a different platform.
But the good stuff.
It's the good stuff. You
All right.
This show was good.
Let's give our flattest out ever. Someone dive.
Dive on out.
See you diving later.
Ugh.